like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Limit has been healing up a little bit too early. And no! Denied! Limit for the Booyah! Game number
ผม
1.
บอกเลยลั่นอ่ะลั่นกว่านี้ผมบอกเลยลั่นแน่แหละ
Dion loses that and one more on the third round, taking the Booyah.
ไอ้ที่บอกว่าศึกษานี่เรียกว่าก๊อปหรือเปล่า
Like the 1v2 equal not the healthy, but unfortunately Meteor
Kita sih nggak pernah ngopi dia, kita lebih belajar tuh mengalahkan tim mereka.
Twisted Mind trying to outmaneuver BRU, but BRU has a monster truck exposing, gets knocked out.
She can only do so much against the full fighting force and a tethered up Allen.
Yes.
High in the red, blasted by Diamond. Diamond fights Twisted Mind. Yeah.
ป้อนพอแล้วป้อนพอแล้วเข้าใจแล้วประมาณนี้
Circle it. Circle, you let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it, I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Bye, have a great time. Just do it!
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Huh? Me? Just hanging around.
Final round. Fight.
Bye, have a great time.
Mission complete.
ชุดได้ป่ะหนูชุดได้หนูทำมาชุดได้ต้องมาปิดหนูต้องมาปิด
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Perfect KO.
Boom. Nope.
look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Circle it. Circle, you let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it, I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Limit has been healing up a little bit too early. And no! Denied! Limit for the Booyah! Game number
ผม
1.
บอกเลยลั่นอ่ะลั่นกว่านี้ผมบอกเลยลั่นแน่แหละ
Dion loses that and one more on the turnaround, taking the Booyah
ไอ้ที่บอกว่าศึกษานี่เรียกว่าก๊อปหรือเปล่า
The 1v2 equal not healthy, but unfortunately BTR
Kita sih nggak pernah copy dia, kita lebih belajar tuh mengalahkan tim mereka.
Twisted Minds trying to outmaneuver BRU, but BRU has a monster truck exposing, gets knocked down.
She can only do so much against the whole fighting force and a tethered up Allen.
High in the red, blasted by Diamond. Diamond finds Twisted Minds. Yeah.
บอลพอแล้วบอลพอแล้วเข้าใจแล้วประมาณนี้
Circle it. Circle, you let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it, I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Bye, have a great time. Just do it!
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Huh? Me? Just hanging around.
Final round. Fight.
Bye, have a great time.
find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Limit has been healing up a little bit too early. And no! Denied! Limit for the Booyah! Game number
ผม
1.
บอกเลยลั่นอ่ะลั่นกว่านี้ผมบอกเลยลั่นแน่แหละ
Dion loses that and one more on the third round, taking the Booyah.
ไอ้ที่บอกว่าศึกษานี่เรียกว่าก๊อปหรือเปล่า
The 1v2 Ikal not the healthy, but unfortunately Meteor
Kita sih nggak pernah copy dia, kita lebih belajar tuh mengalahkan tim mereka.
Twisted Mind trying to outmaneuver PRU, but PRU has a monster truck exposing gets knocked out.
She can only do so much against the whole fighting force and a tethered up Alan.
High in the red, blasted by Diamond. Diamond fights Twisted Mind. Yeah.
ป้อนพอแล้วป้อนพอแล้วเข้าใจแล้วประมาณนี้
Circle it. Circle. You let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Bye, have a great time. Just do it!
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Huh? Me? Just hanging around.
Final round. Fight.
Bye, have a great time.
find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Limit has been healing up a little bit too early. And no! Denied! Limit! Lord Mabuya! Game number
ผม
1.
บอกเลยลั่นอ่ะลั่นกว่านี้ผมบอกเลยลั่นแน่แหละ
Dion loses that and one more on the turnaround, taking the
ไอ้
booyah
ที่
for
บอกว่าศึกษานี่เรียกว่าคอมหรือเปล่า
Like the 1v2 income not healthy, but unfortunately Meteor
Kita sih nggak pernah copy dia, kita lebih belajar tuh mengalahkan tim mereka.
Twisted Mind trying to outmaneuver PRU, but PRU has a monster truck exposing his knockdown.
Oh, she can only do so much against the full fighting force and a tethered up Alan.
Yes.
High in the red, blasted by Diamond. Diamond fights Twisted Mind. Yeah.
ป้อนพอแล้วป้อนพอแล้วเข้าใจแล้วประมาณนี้
Circle it. Circle. You let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Three, two, one, go!
unfortunate. Next, on the other hand, outside the circle, and RRQ takes a easy booyah.
Target kita main aja sih, nggak ada. Udah lolos ini.
But can he go up against 3 players? Diamond will put him in the middle of the pack. Absolutely, and there's no doubt whatsoever they are going to be able to pull this off. Shin too low on that HP, and RRQ
Off that glue wall, the rush by Karoro still managed to survive, but Team Falcons grab their booyah.
ขอบคุณทุกคนมากครับที่ยังเชียร์กันอยู่ครับก็ไม่ต้องเป็นห่วงนะครับ
Oh, still alive. AVAC still heating up. Nope, did not.
Nice.
Dạ do tụi mình bắn ấy và xem thường đối thủ.
Team Falcons will be eliminated. And Ray on a healing gameplay. No.
Mình hy vọng các bạn khán giả sẽ cổ vũ cho các đội tuyển của Việt Nam ạ.
Sports for me.
Absolutely, right? And of course, this is going to be the final opportunity for the teams in Group C for this week to hop on in there and grab some points, but a fresh new opportunity for Group A. They've already seen what Group B brings to the table. They get to fight Group C today and make sure they deny as many points as possible. And you know you've got a couple of titans in here, right? You've got teams like Twisted Minds, you've got WAG, you've got Buriram, and you've also got quite a number of teams from Groups A and C down here in the bottom 6, Danny. So looking at the fact that it is the final 2 weeks, a lot of teams now need to scramble up.
Scramble and grab those points, and I think the teams that have picked up momentum yesterday, because I know a couple of teams towards the middle of the bracket, in particular, I know one of your prediction teams, EVOS, pulling some heavy weights this week. I'm wondering, can they continue on with this weightlifting for their final play day?
Absolutely. I think we can all have the confidence that EVOS is looking for that opportunity to play on their own home soil for that extra layer of advantage that they will have. But of course, this is the grouping for the day. Once again, Groups A versus C. You've got PE Sports, Buriram, AG Global, Star Knights, Attack All Around, Vamos taking on the teams from Group C, EVOS, Divine, Onyx Olympus, WAG, Twisted Minds, Heavy, as well as Bigatron Delta.
Going to be a super exciting week. Although I think for everyone else, you know, knowing that you're up against Group A, it's just like, oh, okay, guys, we've got to deal with Buriram. I don't think anyone likes dealing with Group A, but for the teams in Group A, this is just another day in the office for them because they're kind of stuck with Buriram. So I guess the question is, are we going to be seeing another week where it's just Buriram hogging a third of the points, right? Because I think that does generally happen for any play days that we see Buriram. And for the other teams, they're kind of scrambling unless someone can somehow take these Titans down. And I think looking at the games yesterday, I do think we have a couple of teams that could compete with Buriram, maybe even take them down. But it's a question of, do they even dare to make the first move themselves?
Yeah, one would expect this to be a pretty easy one if you look at the statistic from where Buriram has dominated the top of the leaderboard. They have picked up the most number of points within a week for 3 out of 4 weeks of play in the competition thus far. The only week where they were not number 1, but they were number, I think, 4 was the week where RRQ went a little bit crazy, right? So I think they've taken their dominance right back in here already. But the problem here is RRQ is the only representative from Group B that puts up a strong fight up against Buriram when it comes to the points race. Buriram needs to worry because they've got Twisted Minds, WAG, AG Global, all hopping on in there looking for points, and these guys know how to get it done in that final circle.
They really do know how to get it done. I do want to sort of talk about a team that hasn't played yet, and it's AG. And we know from last week, AG had a wonderful week. You know, it could have been better. They could have gotten some more points. They kind of did peter out at the end. But I'm curious to see what we're going to be seeing from AG this week. Are they going to be having that same momentum? Could they be the team that maybe closes that gap? They're probably not going to be able to get first place, but to have a strong finish, that's already a really good sign going into the final segment of the competition.
AG Global is currently running that Cassie bond along with Hua Esports. Both of these teams, they performed well on week 1, and then they kind of faltered quite a little bit in the following weeks, right? And we saw Hua Esports step it up yesterday. And since they are linked together, I expect AG Global to walk away at least with 1 booyah from today's play. So let's see if or not that gets to happen. But of course, we want to take a quick head-to-head here between Wamos as well as Star Knights. And it looks like, obviously, Star Knights, their numbers are going to look a little bit more solid in comparison to the team from Malaysia, which is still struggling to find their placement in the top 12.
Yeah, Vamos, I feel like this team is trying so hard to show signs of life. But I just feel like at this point of time, is it a little bit too late? Because we are reaching the end of the first phase of that competition. And if you are not near top 12, I think you're doomed. You are doomed to make top 12. And basically your job is to stop everyone else from basically climbing that the leaderboard.
Yeah, most definitely, right? And this is the problem. Whenever you are ahead, this is when you kind of slack off a little bit. You get a little bit overconfident. And many of the players out there on that stage, they are pretty young. You know, it takes you a while to learn that, you know, just because you have a few wins, you shouldn't get cocky. Some of them do tend to take things for granted out there on the battlefield. And we've seen them move ahead and then kind of falter and fall down once again. That's the opportunity that the teams in the bottom 6 need to take advantage of. And they need to make sure in order to do that, they've got this steady consistency running throughout all 6 games, especially in the final 2 weeks. The top 3 teams that we can look out for on this map from groups C and A, EVOS Divine, WAG, as well as AG Global, all 3 teams that has been in our conversation from the very start of the show.
I'm really excited to see EVOS today, I think in particular. I want to see if this team is going to continue their momentum from yesterday, because if they do, this is a really good sign for anyone that's basically cheering for the Indonesian teams, because that's another team from Indonesia that is going to be rising up in the ranks. We all know RRQ, they're generally going to be at the top of that leaderboard, but to have another strong contender from Indonesia, sometimes I feel like this region, they're really great at cannibalizing each other sometimes, but when you put them against other regions, I feel like the chaos and their crazy way of play sometimes throws some of the other teams off as well though. Like some of the Thai teams, I think they look at Indonesia and they just kind of get confused with the thought process of the Indonesians.
Yeah, absolutely right. And mainly because they've just got such a different manner being played there. Their pacing towards that final circle is very much in contrast to how the Thai squads do it. You know, just full on fury from the very start of the game. The Indonesians, they like to kind of chill all the way towards that halfway point before they get into any sort of battles. But of course, we do want to bring that conversation as we head on into Bermuda about the teams down here at the bottom. Today, a team that I've definitely going to have my eyes on is PE Sports. This team has been down in the dumps for too long. Final 2 weeks, it is high time they jump back into the top 12.
I mean, it's high time for them to make that jump, but I mean, that gap between them and 12th place, it is pretty significant. So if there's a time to wake up, these last 2 weeks is literally your only time to do so. So I guess the question here is whether PE Sports, are they going to be the ones to make the move first? Because I think if you're in a passive position and you already are towards that bottom of the leaderboard, you're not doing yourself any favors getting points.
Yeah, the problem with PE Sports, when they've got something to lose, then they get a little bit scared. They try to defend whatever that they have on their side, right? These boys, they are truly powerful. They're truly good out there on the battlefield. When they're just running in there, there's nothing to lose. You know, you give it your all. No matter what, you're already here. You know, that's the kind of mindset that really brought them ahead in the Esports World Cup. And now they had set the bar a little bit too high for themselves. They couldn't keep up. But a team that could keep up with their pacing was WAG, performing tremendously well in the current season.
I'm actually quite surprised at what AG is trying to do here, because the team stuck around. They had stopped scouting out for the team, and now they've lost their scout. They know that WAG is in the compound, but they're sticking around as if they want to try and commit for this. This is extremely risky, especially with the fact that they are down one player, but they do down Krillin, so they have actually managed to equalize things. But Cypher goes down. Stop does get brought back, so now it's going to be a 2 versus 3 situation. Yeah, AG, very, very risky maneuver. I'm surprised they tried to make that play happen.
And unfortunately, if you try to exit this compound, you are going to get shot instantly, especially if your opponents do take that high ground. But WAG is a tad bit slow with the response. They didn't really need to lose the players. Cyrus getting that mark, getting that call about 2 seconds too slow. But PE Sports now up against attack all around. who are split on the battlefield. Poon God a little bit too far away from backing up Cougar and Jump God. Let's see what these boys have in play.
Yeah, Don't Cry did show his position, so Attack All Round do know that there is Don't Cry within that compound, and it looks like they're going to advance here. They do have the glue wall deployed, but they got to be very careful. Thankfully for Cougar, did not get one shot there, so he's going to have to try and find another angle to get through. But the rest of his team, though, I mean, they've got one sniper behind that rock, but quite far from the team. I don't think you're going to be able to have a really good shot at providing any cover fire for the team, but I mean, Attack All Round, they're doing a good job trying to find an angle to get in. They haven't been caught out yet, so maybe there is an opportunity for them to sneak on in. And Pringot actually going in with the portal go.
Yeah, it's actually a smart setup here for Attack All Around. They were trying to bait out PE Sports, and the moment they found out that, you know what, these guys are not going to budge, they've already found a decent defensive spot to hold on to. Straight up, that portal go comes through. Poon God up on top now, trying to stake out the house of PE Sports. Dropping by to say hello, Mr. Cougar. Gets a couple of shots in, but good glue walls. Will protect, don't cry. Who visits the window? Takes the 180s through the glue wall. He goes. Cougar jumps through just as PE Sports brought up that glue wall. Bandits did not stand a chance.
Oh, Ban did catch out Jump God though, so it is a bit of a trade happening here for both of these teams. But Attack All Round, they're not done because this is the team. Once they go for the attack, they're going to go all in for this attack. And Pringle, can he get the finish off there? He will catch Nero. Losing out quite a bit of health himself. He does get the full commitment. And now it's Ban and LBT. These two last remaining players for PE Sports. They got to get out of here. But Ban getting caught. Oh my gosh, another loss for PE Sports. This team desperately needs points. And this is not a fight that they wanted to have for their first map.
Let's see if or not LBT brought in that pocket market, but the man does not have enough time to make that pocket market work, and PE Sports snuffed out as the first squad here to be sent back to the lobby 4 minutes in. And of course, off screen, Jonah finding Saming from Twisted Minds. That's a big fight.
Big fight, big elimination. That is going to force out some resources there for Twisted as they do go for the buyback there. But actually, we got Vamos here going up against EVOS, and they actually managed to catch out G'day there. Now, EVOS, they do have Aim God and ABAX backing out. I do think they probably lost 2 players there. So for Vamos, pretty interesting to be able to get just 1 elimination. So it wasn't the entire team. Good news for Vamos, though. They do need those points, but quite surprised that EVOS weren't the ones to be able to come out on top of that one.
Vamos just needs 166 points.
Just 166 points.
Just 166 from 4 days of play, and they have to hope and pray that the 6 or 7 teams ahead of them do not pick up any points whatsoever. So it's a lot to ask for.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, PE Sports were the first team to sort of drop out from this round. So mission accomplished for one of the teams. But yeah, they don't really want to leave their fate in the hands of everyone else, do they? So.
And unfortunately for Vamos, they can't even look ahead towards PE Sports, who, yes, are in the bottom 6 with them, but in the 14th spot. Vamos in 17th. But the problem here is Star Knights, who are ahead of them, are 61 points ahead of them. So yeah, it's a steep climb for Team Vamos. Today's performance, if they can walk away with 3 solid booyahs, then catching up, beating them, most definitely a possibility. But you know, Vamos hasn't scored a single booyah throughout the whole competition, so that might just be too much to ask.
I mean, look, I think at some point we might see that miracle booyah come through, but it's just, are the stars going to align? Because I feel like for some of these teams, the stars don't align. A booyah is practically impossible, especially with the caliber of teams that are competing within the competition as well. Status update for our teams. Everyone is alive. Of course, we did have a couple of teams buy back some players as they were eliminated early on, but leading in the eliminations department, Attack All Round with the complete wipe on at PE Sports. So maybe this could be a really good day for Attack All Round. As EVOS actually been caught out by Twisted Minds, and they lost ABAX. Oh boy.
Man broke his ankle on the drop. Aim God hops on in for the save. Diamond just too far away to make sure to find the denial. Zyru from afar finding Saming, and Onyx Olympus decides to drop by to say hello to Twisted Minds, and from predators they become prey.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward position here for Twisted Minds to be squished between 2 teams. And Onyx Olympus, look how quickly they're trying to move onto that high ground to chase down Twisted Minds. They really want these eliminations. Gary leading the way here for the team, trying to provide some vision. Can he catch out Nameless? Nameless trying to juke and jive, but there's only so much he can do as he does eventually get caught out. But Diamond and the rest, are they far enough away to be able to find some kind of cover? I think they might be safe
my.
here. And now look at EVOS.
Oh
EVOS
my.
maybe sticking their nose into someone else's business.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for stopping by Onyx Olympus and shooing away our opponents. But of course, they do not step out of boundaries. EVOS, they do need a little bit of recovery. They are not stacked up on that loot just yet. So a clear engagement, not the best option. But Kathizi finding Diamond. Now this one is a huge deal breaker for Team Twisted Minds, who was trying to look for that recovery. They do manage to hit the double revival. So for the time being, Twisted Minds still stays in here.
Still stay in, but they've got such a crippled team now as well. The fact that everyone's going to be coming back in, you're going to have no items. They will have to focus on that macro or hope and pray that they win this next engagement and they can steal some loot away from another team. Now, speaking of another team that is coming into the picture here, we're seeing some Buriram. Now, if they do continue in towards the same trajectory as Vamos could be in a lot of trouble because they do need those points. And the last team you want to run into is literally the first place team on the leaderboard.
Yeah, and you definitely do not want to run into Nameless when he's holding onto that Trogon. This guy, a specialist with the meta weapon, is able to instantly take you down. 100 plus takedowns so far in the competition.
Ooh.
Now attack all around in a sticky situation. Not a lot of room to play with outside, but they do have a decent defensive compound. They're keeping their eyes on Vamos, and Heavy's keeping an eye on them. Attack all around should know of this. EVOS Divine up against Onyx Olympus now. That one's going to get ugly the moment that fight breaks out.
Well, it depends if a fight breaks out or if those two teams try to go in the circle. They have so many teams that they also have to keep an eye out for as well. So I'm kind of wondering how these Indonesians, if they let each other pass, can they even make it in with the number of teams that are going to be playing defense?
I mean, they both want a lot of points from the day. EVOS Divine surely want to be in that number one spot. They don't want Buriram to rip that away from them. And I'm pretty sure Onyx Olympus is fighting for their very dear lives because currently they sit in the 12th spot. So they don't want to get very aggressive. The aggressors could just be EVOS Divine, cheeky at the start of the day. Then again, you know, it brings us back to the conversation earlier. The way the Indonesians play is so different. They don't want these early fights. They want to avoid all of these interactions as much as possible until we reach at least Circle 4. But it looks like Star will not be able to avoid shooting at someone as they rotate potentially straight towards the team of WAG.
Yeah, they're going to try and drive up onto the high ground, so maybe WAG don't spot them at all, which would be very lucky for them if they don't get caught. AG, very quiet day for this team. I'm quite surprised with how passively they're playing today compared to last week, where last week it was all guns blazing, run and gun, anything that moves, they shoot at it. But today, it's just really been a much quieter day for the team. And I'm wondering if they're just sort of thinking like, okay, last week we got a little ahead of ourselves. Maybe we just tone it down a little bit. Let's focus more on that late game. But we are getting very close to that late game. It's WAG getting a knock there onto one of the star players.
Yeah, Star Knights, they took that horse and they rode it straight to WAG, who said thank you very much for that 1 point. But of course, they will find themselves a launch pad and launch themselves straight away from the squad. They took away a life from the team. And Star Knights should be on their recovery way here as they have a vending machine at Katulistiwa.
Great vending machine. And I think Stars might be in a really great spot to try and go into the circle because everyone's congregated towards that northeastern section of the map, whereas that southwest side looking relatively safe there. So we'll have to check up on them a little bit later on here as we do have AG Global on the screen. They're still outside that circle. They don't have a very easy way of going in, but EVOS in the meantime, though, spotting out Onyx and actually catching out Keybase there.
I am very bored with the pacing at this point of time. I want them to wrap it up.
I'm going
and
now.
EVOS Divine fighting Onyx Olympus, trying to nail them down, but slippery. They get away. ABAC sacrifice, though. They need to find a way to bring the man back. There is a vending machine that they can play with just at the edge of Shipyard. And Bigatron Delta will find Zyru way too easy. EVOS Divine just could not complete the hunt. But of course, they will drop by that vending machine to bring their brother back.
I am terrified of this map, AJ. It is so congregated. There's not enough real estate here for the number of teams occupying that top left section of that map. So Bigatron finally putting themselves on the map here as they played relatively quiet for the majority of the day. Jack hiding on the rooftop, probably the last player alive here for Onyx, as we do see one of the players for EVOS being shot down as he was brought back in. They do take a little bit of damage there thanks to Buriram on the rooftop, but thankfully we don't have the knock so far. They are surviving, but they're taking a lot of damage. Actually, the counter catch up. Aim God. They just picked up one of his teammates. Oh boy, Buriram, they are in the best place possible just to play for the snipes.
Yeah, but great recovery coming through from EVOS Divine. They do manage to pick up ABAX, who was shot out of the sky by Buriram. So no elimination point there. And of course, that second knock was instantly recovered. So EVOS Divine still up on their feet. And Onyx Olympus bows down and out a little bit too early. Their 12th spot at heavy risk here. And I mean that pun because Team Heavy, the team that is looking for the top 12 spot, still alive and kicking, might just need to deal with Onyx brothers as Bigatron Delta drops by to say hello.
Oh my gosh, the number of teams coming in. They are fighting for what little space there is left on the map. We've got Stars going up against Twisted Minds, Bigatron here in the same area as Heavy. EVOS doing their best to hide, but the fact that Buriram on that rooftop is making it really difficult for players to stick their heads out into that open to try and go for those eliminations themselves. But Bigatron hunting for Heavy. They can't quite get the angles just because of the pillars here, but can they catch anyone? They just need to clip anybody. Just slowly chip them down and gatekeep that circle, because Heavy, they don't have an easy way in either.
Yeah, Bigatron, they have just made a little bit too much of noise. Now all teams looking at them as they try to enter this next circle. EVOS Divine, they bow out a little bit too early. And Buriram with that high ground advantage that you spoke of, they are taking great advantage, picking up point after point. But Vamos out of nowhere shut down WAG. My goodness, where did this Malaysian squad come from?
Look, they are literally on do or die mode at the moment, and they need these points, but it's not going to be easy for Kathisi. He's still stuck on the outside of that circle as AG are battling their way in. And it's going to be so hard with Caramel and you playing gatekeeper here against Vamos and Attack All Round. Attack All Round eliminated in 8th place. Kathisi, can he walk on in? No, he's been caught. AG. They've been quiet up until this point, and they got the eliminations. In the meantime, Bigatron, next team to be eliminated, as Heavy, down to their final player, Hans, who is hiding against Buriram of all teams. He may show himself here, and I think Jonah may have spotted him as well. And oh boy, this is not going to be too good here.
The mission is straightforward for Hans. Just survive as long as possible. Don't get eliminated from this equation here. Unfortunately for the man, it is a little bit too much to ask. AG Global from the opposite side and the launch pad getting them into the circle. But Dew stuck his head out too far. Wasana with the knock, but no elimination just yet. Dew right back up on his feet. AG Global gonna compete against Buriram for the booyah.
And Twisted Minds, they have one player left, but literally playing on the outskirts. Look at that Posey actually playing on top of the crane. Has to jump down because that circle was moving. Hasn't been spotted out there, so maybe X-Posey could be the ones to cause some issues here for Buriram, who are advancing onto Dew, the last player for AG, and they eliminate AG. Twisted Minds secure second place because X-Posey's fantastic positioning on the crane not being spotted.
Can he get one extra point as well? A bonus for the road X-Posey. But backstabbed by Wasana. 16 eliminations strong. They walk in with booyah on Bermuda.
Oh my gosh, I just saw the laugh there. Buriram just like, good job boys, game number 1, fantastic play. This is just classic Buriram. Like when they are on, they are on. And I think the worst time to see this team switch on is game number 1, because that means for the rest of the day, Buriram is going to be playing at their best. So might be a bit of a struggle bus for the rest of the competition, but I think for Buriram, I mean, are we surprised? No. Do we have expectations? Yes. Did they meet expectations? They certainly did. So the question is there anyone out there that can challenge Buriram and basically stop them on their rampage today?
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody was playing defensive in that earlier game, and it was just that sort of chaos once again, as we had way too many teams alive in that final circle, or two at least in that second last circle. And it was just all out pandemonium because you just don't know where you're going to get shot at from. And when you've got Buriram, who has taken that high ground advantage already, the highest spot within that final circle, it was just an instant win from that point onwards, right? Buriram just made good use of that But great play from Exposy, making sure the team gets the extra point on placements.
Look, sometimes you just got to pull out some of those crazy plays. And it worked out for him. I think the fact that he was up there and he was just lucky that someone like Moshi didn't spot him, because you would assume Moshi, being the scout for the team for Buriram, clearly focused on AG because there were two people over there. Like, who else is there that they're really, really worried about? So, again, Buriram, love the high ground play. I'd actually like more teams to really utilize that high ground play, because vision on Bermuda, you don't get a lot of places to really utilize any high ground vision. It's a lot of the plays that we see is either on rooftops or basically on the ground. So you can just tell based off the way that Buriram, the way that they entered these late games, they're always thinking, how do we put ourselves in the most advantageous position to get free eliminations?
Yeah, I mean, high ground is good. Ground that is way too high, not good at all. Not friendly for your aims whatsoever. So Buriram knows how to play this.
Either.
Absolutely right. They know how to play it absolutely well. But of course, we want to throw this over to Yuki and squad for the interview with Buriram.
The Castle of Thunder, and this is Jonah from Buriram United Esports. Yay, give it up. What happened, Jonah? You already did the highlight with just one shot from M79, and now you did it again. What happened?
มันเกิดขึ้นได้ยังไงคะเพราะว่าอาทิตย์ที่แล้วเราก็ได้ทำไฮไลท์โดยการที่ใช้ M79 เนี่ยน็อก3คนแล้วเมื่อกี้เราก็ทำได้อีก
ก็เหมือนไอ้แฮกมันบอกว่าเหมือนแบบตีไม่มีของเงี้ยครับใช่แล้วก็ถ้าตีไม่มีของก็น่าจะมีแค่เกาะ2เกาะ3ไม่ถึงเกาะ4เอ็มก้ามันการันตีเม็ดเดียวตายแล้วเพราะผมมีบูทระเบิดด้วยใช่
because Moshi said that the team that they fighting have not enough equipment maybe just armor level 2 or 3 which is confirmed by M79 that it can knock down in just one shot and he also used the skill
Anvalo ไหม
and also use the Avaro that like confirm like boost the damage for M79
but I really like when he asks you Avaro ไหม is it Avaro that I use
but
Avaro ไม่รู้ชื่อไงพี่
yeah correct
okay so today you already got 10 elims already how many you want
วันนี้เราได้อีลิมถึง10ตัวในเกมแรกอยากได้เท่าไหร่คะ
เล่นไปเลยครับเน้นบูย่าให้กระปอนมันได้ MVP ครับ
so he didn't focus much on getting more elimination just want to give the MVP award to Wasana and the team will focus on getting more booyah
so you think that you guys or Wasana have a chance to win the Predator prize right
แสดงว่าทีมเรามั่นใจว่าอาทิตย์เนี้ยเราจะได้ Predator prize รางวัล
มั่นใจครับมั่นใจเพราะเกมแรกเปิดมาดีแค่นี้
I have more confidence that we're gonna get it because we start the first game with very well
okay so last question is I wanna know that how many booyah you wanna get today
เราคิดว่าวันนี้อยากได้บูย่ากี่บูย่าคะ
ปอนบอกอยากได้6บูย่า
Wasna said we want 6 booyah
so 5 to go
อีก5เกม
Okay. Before we going into the next match, one pose to the camera.
ขอโพสหนึ่งก่อนที่จะเข้าเกมหน้าค่ะ
So guys, let's get ready to back into the game now. Back to you, Shoutcaster.
Jonah wants to give it to Wasana. Wasana will take it, Jonah.
I was gonna say, just
Jonah has no say in it.
5 more to go, AJ. Easy. 5 more Buriams to go. If there's a team that says that and it's not Buriram, then I'm having questions. But the fact that it's Buriram, I'm like, sure, go take all the Buriams.
But it's not going to be easy. Wasana's nowhere in the top 10 at the moment, and Gade, who's currently in the 10th spot for the overall eliminations for this week, has got 12 eliminations. Wasana's not near just yet, so it will take him quite a little bit of time to catch up. Let's see if or not he can get to that number 1 spot by the end of the day.
Might get close. Look, it's Buriram. I think anything is possible with this team. They are gosh dang scary. My goodness. Look, it's game 1. That's what makes it difficult.
I would not be surprised if he takes over that number 1 spot today in itself. But the MVP, Jonah, dude, this man said, I do not want to take it from Wasana, and he hits the 10 eliminations, 3,533 damage, 2 headshots. You know Wasana's just spraying, but he does not need any praying. He always gets it. The MVP. Truly well deserved at the grenade launcher on top of everything else, just to wreck the party for his opponents a little bit extra today.
Look, just keep wrecking parties. I think that's it for Buriram, the goal, just wreck everybody, grab those points, steal everything, make everyone struggle. And they've done it already off of just one game alone. I fear what's going to happen for the next 5 games if it's just going to be Buriram terrorizing the lobby. Especially, okay, I have to sort of question you on this, because I think today, like the fact that we've played our first map already, and it was Bermuda of all maps, it was such a slow and such a passive game. Like, we didn't see a lot of eliminations aside from the first team 11 on PE Sports. Aside from that, we had practically everybody alive until the very end. Why is that for this week? Because I think last week we saw a lot more proactive play from these teams, like teams trying to be a little bit more out there, trying to put their fates in their own hands by playing aggressive. Now everyone's just sort of decided, okay, we're going to take the back seat. Like, what happened? Why are these teams sort of doing this? Like, is there a benefit to playing like this?
No. I mean, it's 2 main reasons, right? Reason number 1, because we are running a marathon. They all know each other's drop spots. They know those rotations. They've done their homework. These are all top flight teams. So now they're just a little bit more calculated with where they drop, what they do, and how they approach those circles. But the second reason is obviously because of the meta update. The game doesn't allow you to be super aggressive as much as you want in the early game anymore, especially with the pocket market being limited now to just about 6 minutes. You are going to run out of options. The revives on the pocket market are a little bit more expensive, so you need to look for coins. You can't take those unnecessary risks that the teams could take within the first 3 weeks of gameplay, right? So a little bit of change in pacing, but I like this a little bit more because it seems way more professional in terms of how they make the decision to run in rather than just running and gunning with the confidence that no matter what happens, I'm going to be brought back.
Yeah, so in essence, this is sort of the teams just sort of adapting to the game changes. Like, this is how they think is now the optimal play, the optimal way to play Free Fire. Okay.
Yeah, until someone breaks it, of course. And you can leave that to teams like Buriram.
Please break this, okay? AJ and I, we need to see a little bit more, okay? I want to see some more bodies hit the floor. I want to see some action. I want to hear some gunfire. Like, a couple of grenade shots, that's fine too, but if this is the new meta, I guess we're just going to have to sort of deal with it. And maybe it's a testament to... You have to deal with it. We don't get to choose how the teams play. They decide how to play because they're the ones competing. Money's on the line. Their lifeline is on the line, AJ. Come on.
Ask and you shall receive. I mean, if you want aggression, if you want ruthless aggression for some of these teams, I think they can give it to you, right? But, the problem here is they just want to see exactly how they can devise and perfect their plan for the final week. I mean, teams like Buriram, they can most definitely go a little bit crazy. They have got nothing to lose whatsoever. Teams like AG Global, they can experiment as much as they want. But, it's a question of do they want to do it? At this point of time, I think whoever who's going for the Predator title should be the ones who are most incentivized to get a little bit aggressive.
I hope AG Global's kind of pick it up because I was a super big fan of what happened last week, okay? That was very fun to watch and I would love to see a repeat. But if they want to play safe, it's totally up to them. Purgatory is going to be the next map of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2, as we did already get our first booyah, and it's none other than Buriram securing that first booyah. Will they get their second booyah today? Because they are predicting they're going to be getting all 6 today. I'm going to curse them, and I'm going to say, no, you will get 2 booyahs maximum, and we will have 4 other teams grabbing booyahs today. Because I do think some of these teams, they're still being pushed to grab those points, and whilst perfecting their play, I feel like you sometimes need to show your hand to ensure these strats that you're saving for finals, they work, right? And I feel like some of these teams, they have 2 weeks left to do this. They've got to start showing some of these cards now, because if you wait till next week, I think everyone's going to start testing out their aces for that final play week.
Head-to-head between Buriram and Attack All Around. Wasana versus Limit. And as you can see, Wasana is a tad bit higher in terms of numbers. The main reason why we are bringing these two teams into comparison is because Buriram, Twisted Minds, and Attack All Around, these three teams from Thailand, they absolutely dominate Purgatory when the combination of A and C happens. Each of these teams have got 2 booyahs so far on Purgatory. They are most definitely looking to push it to 3.
Although who's going to be able to push it to 3? Or if someone is someone going to deny them that and not allow them to have 3 at all? We'll be stuck at this two-way tie. We'll have to find out here because we are jumping into game number 2 here, folks. And I hope some of these teams are hungry. I want to see some crazy play. I want to see something different. I want to see some action. Okay, I don't want one team eliminated and then we have like macro city until the 4th and 5th circle. Okay, we've got to see a little bit more run and gun play. All right, let's go. Okay, motivational Danny coach here. There's a reason why I'm not a coach for these teams because they would be in the bottom 6. But it would be nice to see some action. PE Sports. This is a team that actually struggled last game. They were the first ones eliminated. They need points. I kind of hope that they're motivated in this matchup to maybe try and do something. Oh my, this is a pretty big oh my.
Yep, missing that shot. A little unfortunate. That's the VSS. Very deadly if you do manage to find the connection. Exposy has got the Thompson in hand. The rate of fire should be able to give him the advantage up against A-Backs. And now Nameless catching up with Exposy. This is a 2v1 situation. Good day though. Drops by to say hello. So it's a 2v2. A flank around from the left-hand side by Aim God. A little bit too far away from the rest of this engagement. Good day is going to be instantly surrounded, but A-Backs won't be able to fire back. And EVOS Divine stand their ground.
Jeez. And that situation itself just proves how risky it can be if your team tries to go for these split plays. Split plays, very, very greedy. And you can see already Twisted Minds being punished there. Now, speaking of being punished, Vamos are being hammered by Heavy, who is actually trying to just basically jump on top of them. McRory, he has found a vehicle, but they have managed to break it. And I don't think he's got the gun that he's wanted. They're going to try and go for the finish up there. Get nice! Eliminates McRory. So already down 2 players. Vamos, they did get the revive. Oh my gosh, this is not a good start for Vamos. This is another team that desperately needs points.
Yeah, Get Nice tells McRory to get good. Beautiful play coming through from Heavy, the team that is looking forward to breaking through the top 12 in play today. The only problem is Onyx Olympus, who holds on to the 12th spot, is still in play today. They have got those opportunities. All they need to do is just stay alive longer than Heavy, get more eliminations than Heavy. Simple mathematics. They get to do it. They've been doing it for a couple of weeks already, and the Vietnamese squad just needs to find a way. My dream, what I hope to see today, is all 5 teams from Vietnam squeeze into the top 12. I don't know if I'm asking for too much.
Well, we can ask Yunsul if that might be a bit too much. She's a bit of an expert for the region.
She would totally be on my side with that one.
I actually agree with you there. So just Yunsul things there. Today they're going for a bit of a skirmish. Twisted Minds. Simon, they're going to day very low. But the finish off, unfortunately. So now EVOS going to be down a player. EVOS! Everything's imploding, but thankfully for Ray, literally at a vending machine, buying his team back. But that is not what EVOS wanted.
Great setup by Twisted, and it was just really unfortunate as they got ambushed there. They were just out positioned, instantly shut down. Gade was hopping up and down like a bunny, just could not find any of those shots to connect. Vamos, on the other hand, getting away from Team Heavy, who has managed to chase them all the way to the very edges of this compound, and Judd with a shotgun in hand can't do much. And Hans puts the final bullet in the coffin with the woodpecker. Wasana, on the other hand, off screen, finds Limit. Attack all around, under siege by Buriram.
Oh, that's a pretty big battle happening on the other side of the map. Thankfully for Attack all round, Kruger does go for the buyback, so the team is back to a full team of 5, but we do have a first team eliminated. This is really painful for Vamos because, again, we spoke about them earlier today. This is a team that desperately needs points, and with the last 2 play weeks, to drop any games in the bottom of the bracket, I mean, this is pushing them further and further away from that top 12 dream. So Vamos, hopefully they have time now to sort of think about what they want to do for map number 3. And maybe sort of look at what Buriram is doing, try and get some inspiration and figure out what is Buriram doing in the new meta that is just making them such a strong team. Now, the thing is, I don't think it's a simple case of just like copy Buriram, because they are a very high level team. They look at this game from a very deep level, and they really, I guess the best way to describe it is they play 3 steps ahead of the competition, because they're not only thinking about how do they get eliminations, but they're also thinking about positioning and where to be next.
At this point, I think it's safe to say Vamos and Expand, they are definitely not going to make it through to the final week.
I don't think so.
Yeah, just way too far away from that 12th spot. Star Knights themselves, I mean, that's a long shot, but those boys can most definitely try. Thoda has suddenly woken up in the competition, 67 points away from the 12th spot. Now, that one is a wild card. There's a possibility Thoda might just be that miracle team from the bottom 6 to just have this rejuvenated approach towards the top 12 and actually be able to do it.
I 100% agree with you. With the fact that they're on that upwards trajectory in points, it's just, can they get more points this week than they did last week? Because last week was signs of life. I want this team to fly, right? You need them to fly, to thrive. And we'll have to see what happens with them later on when, you know, tomorrow where they do play, can they get those points in the group? And is it a case of them just doing well in one group, or can they overall grab these points in both of these groups? Now, we do see Bigatron taking quite a bit of fire damage here from Star Knights. They do get one drop. Liam still on the ground. The team's not really comfortable being able to go for those pickups, unfortunately, but they do manage to go for that knock onto Bigatron. Oh, Raz, though, getting caught by Star Knights. And man, these Indonesians, they are relentless against each other.
Absolutely. Star Knights. Oh, Koja just stood no chance of getting picked up at all. Star Knights instantly shutting them down, and Heavy, they do have a good chance here against the Indonesian squad if they can get a shots on spot. And it is the ice grenade that manages to take away the final few life seconds of Hans. And of course, as they circle around, Star Knights, they scramble. But Heavy, I thought they were just going to go into the safe zone, but they're going in for the chase.
Oh, Heavy, this is so risky. But if they can get it, it might be great. Yeah, Star Knights, they're going to try and buy some time with the glue walls, and maybe that's going to be enough time for them to maybe get this knock here onto Get Nice. They are trying to play with the vehicle, which is Star Knights. You're getting very creative, but I don't know if this creativity is going to be enough. Now it's just down to Tan, last player left here, and up against Star Knights. Oh, Heavy. They overcommitted.
I mean, yeah, I was just shocked with that move right there. They could have just gone in for the safe zone, but they just wanted to rush in there for the extra points. Liam single-handedly took away 3 lives from the squad, and that was just way too easy for Star Knights to complete. And now the engagement that started off earlier between Buriram and Attack All Around has a chance to come to a conclusion here. Wasana backs away, Attack All Around, all of them stuck in a tiny little compound, one house here, but with the vending machine to play with, they can take advantage of a aggressive Buriram.
I don't know though. If you look at how Attack All Round are playing, they're trying to get away from Buriram, and I think this is the right play. Maybe it's just too soon for this team to try and go up against a team like Buriram. So Attack All Round, they are on retreat all round, but can they even get away? Because look at where Moshi is. Moshi is actually ahead of this team, and he might be the ones to sort of pick them all off one by one.
Moshi can give that information to the rest of his team members. Limit, it's right behind though. AC80 Punga does manage to spot out Moshi. Limit drops him onto the ground. Moshi out of the equation. Now Buriram, they are blind. They just have to take the CQC without extra information. Jump God with the backstab as Get High walks right into his crosshairs. And now with the Drogon looking to absolutely dominate. Buriram Attack All Around. They rage on.
Attack All Round. Masterful play, especially with the fact that it looked like it was Buriram trying to corral them in, but Attack All Round, they have movements. And in particular, I think getting rid of Moshi, getting rid of the team's eyes for Buriram, really limiting what they were able to do on the ground. Fantastic execution from Attack All Round. I was so worried for them.
I mean, they did take away 1 life from Attack All Around very early game, and this was the perfect revenge. So Attack All Around, very pleased with what they just managed to pull off. And when they do find out that it was Buriram that they shut down and out in a equal 4v4 fight, they're going to be absolutely delighted. And hopefully that gives them the extra confidence boost for the rest of the day. But Limit steps away too far from the rest of his team members, and Onyx Olympus instantly striking. PE Sports, they've got an eye on the situation as well, just waiting for the opportune moment to hop in.
And that's a star player as well on a tackle round, so they've got to figure out a way to get Limit back into this game, and in particular, put some items on this man, because the last person I want on a tackle round to be playing naked is Limit. This man really carries the team on his shoulders, in particular when it comes to those CQC situations. Bigatron and a tackle round! They've got, oh no, the revival pad for Bigatron, not able to use it. Oh, that's painful.
That's exactly why we don't use it anymore, bro.
It takes too long.
It's been a while, but you know, Bigatron just wanted to show us that, you know, these things are still functioning within the game, except that there are just many better ways to play it at a high level. Bring your players back in a safe way, but of course, the prerequisite is you need some extra free fire coins in your pocket. The standoff between Onyx Olympus and Attack All Around still goes ahead to continue, with Attack All Around splitting off in a 2-2 formation. 2 players keeping an eye on Bigatron Delta and their movements. 2 players on the side of Onyx Olympus, and the circle hunts down Onyx Olympus, which means Attack All Around needs to make a decision as to how they get around.
I don't know how they're going to get into this. Maybe they're going to have to commit to a portal goal or something. Just try and have something, launch them onto the rooftops, just to try not to directly go into some of these teams. PE Sports, another team that's possibly going to be gatekeeping anyone on that eastern side of that circle. So we have a couple of our, I suppose, our defenders of the circle. Everyone else going to have to try and wrestle their way in. Now, AG Global, they have eyes there on Star Knights. A couple of grenades being thrown out. Thankfully, no connections, but I like the fact that Star Knights, they're thinking about it, but they're also repositioning to try and put themselves in a better position if a fight does break out. They're slowly creeping around this as a team. I think the question is whether AG Global is going to fall for this, because this feels like a trap.
Yeah, this circle's going to hurt, especially in a prolonged fight up against Star Knights if AG Global doesn't make it to the safe zone. So good rotation around from that high ground, just slowly inching towards the next safe zone as they toss all of those grenades towards Star Knights, making sure they do not have any opening against them as they make this rotation towards the next circle. Brilliant play from AG Global. But the question is, do they stop and commit? Look at this. From inside the circle, there's a team rotating out. It's Onyx Olympus. They hear the sound and they want some blood.
They want some blood. The question is, whose blood are they going to have first? Now, speaking of blood, though, EVOS fighting toe-to-toe with Twisted Minds. And we're seeing bodies hit the floor. Good day, as well as Diamond. Gonna be on the ground. It's down to Nameless. Twisted Minds. Last player there, Sming. Nameless here for Twisted. They're going to be okay. They do finish off Aim God, but EVOS, both teams heavily injured. X-Prosy, they're trying to finish him off with ABAX. Oh, but they do manage to block him off with the glue walls. This is so difficult to watch, AJ. Nameless.
Nameless! He didn't even see the player right beside him. He thought it was his own team member. Doesn't shoot and gets shot at. Ray puts the final bullet through Nameless, and that's it for Twisted Minds. And Onyx Olympus, they heard the sounds. They went in for the fight. 18 deer down on the ground, but who claims the life? We don't know, but the grenades just don't stop from the side of AG Global from up top. The vantage point held by AG Global, but neither side want to wait and play with them. Onyx Olympus say bye-bye.
Oh, this is starting to get really spicy now. So Onyx Olympus looking to go for the gatekeep onto AG Global. But on the other side of the river, we also have WAG. So it's going to be really tough for these teams unless they have some kind of cover to work with. But looks like Onyx taking quite a bit of damage there from AG, who was pelting them with bullets, grenades. Oh my gosh, I think Onyx Olympus, have they run out of gas?
Oh, dude is just so deadly from an angle like this. Beautiful shots coming on through. Sharpshooter indeed. And now, instead of rotating straight towards Onyx Olympus, putting themselves at risk, we hop on over to the action between PE Sports. Attack All Around dropping by, as well as PE Sports pushes out EVOS Divine. Attack All Around finishing up the work. And LBT goes down. The whole of PE Sports down and shut out of this lobby. Moongod, on the other hand, will not be able to sustain. Attack All Around, shot at by AG Global and EVOS Divine. unfortunate for whichever team that stepped into that house.
Oh, that circle eliminated them as well. They just ran out of gas too late into this game as well. So AG Global still outside that circle, gonna have to try and make their way in. And thankfully for Stop, he does get in, but he's actually gonna be right next to Onyx Olympus, who are also launching themselves in. So the Indonesians, they just get shot down. They thought they were safe, but they just flew into AG Global territory. And Bigatron, next team to be going down. We're down to our top 3 teams here, AJ. It's AG, WAG, and EVOS.
WAG just shooting down the players of Onyx Olympus that were hopping on in, and now shutting down AG Global one after the other as well. Can we find more? Ray helping them out from the opposite side. Krillin will claim Cypher's life. WAG just the bigger winner, but only 5 eliminations in hand so far. They need to be able to pick this off of Stop as well as Dew as well if they want to end this one with a booyah and solid points on their side.
Oh, Dew all alone, and he does get clipped by Ray on the side of EVOS. So that's going to be EVOS picking that one up. 2 versus 4. And look at this. WAG playing extremely aggressively, running right at EVOS. Glue wall melters being thrown down onto the ground. But Ray, ABAX, they have the damage to finish up these players as they run into them. We do see Cyrus taking considerable amount of damage. Ray, though, he's been completely exposed. It's down to ABAX. Last player up against a full roster. Not going to happen. WAG securing our second booyah of the day. Quite shockingly. You know, I think a lot of us expected Buriram to be able to grab the booyah here, but that team got eliminated extremely early thanks to attack all round.
Yeah, and when their backs were up against the wall, WAG, beautiful performance towards the very ending part of this map. And it all started off by shutting down Onyx Olympus as they try to circle into the map. And the very final sequence where we saw they didn't want to give EVOS Divine any breathing space whatsoever. No time to recover. You deal with our aggression. 3 players straight up the hill, bringing the fight to EVOS. And obviously that pressure was more than enough. They had the numbers as well to outnumber EVOS Divine 3-2. So the advantage well taken by WAG. A well-deserved booyah at Purgatory.
You know, AJ, I think you're onto something when we were talking about Vietnam a little bit earlier today.
Oh yeah.
Probably, maybe not the team from Vietnam that we wanted to give those points to. Maybe someone a little bit further down to push them up. But, I mean, you know, Vietnam fans got to rejoice here for WAG. Really strong representatives coming in from Vietnam. Really showing that, you know, sometimes they do look very, very quiet. But when you give them that opportunity to really just go ham and give them that opening in that late game, they look for it. They don't wait for those elims. They go for them themselves.
Right now, my eyes are obviously set on 3 teams, PE Sports, Heavy, as well as Onyx Olympus. We're going to have to track exactly how these 3 teams do because they are interacting at the very bottom of the leaderboard, right? Now, Onyx Olympus, with this success, should have been able to move slightly higher. GOW is not playing today, so they are at risk of being kicked to the bottom 6. Heavy and PE Sports, they have not been on a great roll thus far, but they've got 4 more games to really shape themselves up because, you know, you really cannot miss out on this opportunity if you're these 2 teams.
Yeah, and the fact that they're so close to top 12. That, like, just to imagine you being eliminated, being on the cusp of qualifying, I think that's probably one of the more painful losses to experience rather than making it to grand finals and then, you know, bottom 12, who cares? You made it to finals. Like, that's the goal for everyone here. So, Heavy...
Also, the money's a little bit better at the finals. So you can be the 12th team at the finals. Who cares? It's still more moolah.
More moolah, more fame, more glory. Everything's on the table. So, Heavy PE Sports. I mean, today's not been an easy day for PE Sports. They basically bottomed out during game number 1. Game number 2, it was better, but ideally I think this team is really aiming for a top 4, top 5 finish consistently across all of their matches because they really need those points. Same thing can be said for Heavy as well. Like, these 2 teams, they got to find those points somewhere. But let's have our interview session because WAG, they're ready for it. Let's see what they have to say after getting that booyah.
It's a booyah for a Vietnam team. Hi everybody, it's your MC today and I'm Yunsul. Welcome to our interview after the match. And right next to me is WAG Krillin. Congratulations Krillin. So, can you say hello to the audience first? Xin chào Krillin. Thì lời đầu tiên mình có thể gửi lời chào đến các bạn khán giả trước được không ạ?
Xin chào mọi người.
Then it's a very nice game of WAG, right? A very good game. I can see that. So, the first questions. WAG has achieved like 10 booyahs in the total of the match already. How's your feeling about this? Krillin ơi, cuối cùng thì WAG của chúng ta đến ngày hôm nay là đã đạt được đủ 10 chiếc booyah rồi. Thì Krillin này cảm thấy như thế nào vậy ạ?
Mình cảm thấy rất là happy, rất vui vẻ.
I feel really happy. So in our lineup, like the last week it was the Ghost, right? And today it was Krillin. How could you guys adapt that situations? How could you guys handle that easy? Because I can see that whenever you guys change the subs, it will change a lot of the gameplay. How would you being the harmonious of the game? Krillin ơi, Yusu cảm thấy rằng là trong đội hình của chúng ta là chúng ta thay đổi rất là nhiều, đúng không? Tức là tuần trước thì The Ghost tham gia vào và tuần này thì là Krillin. Thì làm sao mà mọi người có thể giữ vững được cái tay của mình để chơi như vậy, để giữ lửa được như vậy à?
Tại tụi mình tay to.
Ngoài tay to ra còn cái gì nữa không?
Với lại sống chung nhiều thì nó cũng quen.
Vậy thì cái quá trình luyện tập của mình nó có khó khăn hơn không? Tại vì Yusu nghĩ là khi mà mình cứ thay đổi người như vậy á, thì tất nhiên là mình sẽ phải mất một chút xíu thời gian để làm mới lại. Nhưng mà không, mọi người vẫn thi đấu rất là tốt ấy. Thì có mất nhiều thời gian hay là sao, có bị khó khăn trong quá trình luyện tập không?
Mình cảm thấy thì ban đầu thì có kiểu có lộn, nhưng mà về sau khắc phục dần dần.
Yusu hiểu. I think it's just because we are really good at playing games, and you guys know that we live together. So I know that in the first phase it's a little bit chaotic for us because we still changed our lineup a lot of times, so it's a little bit messed up, but we still handle that really good. So the last question is for you. Who would you think that suits you the best in the game? Thì Krillin ơi, Krillin nghĩ là mình phối hợp ăn ý với ai nhất ở trong đội tuyển ạ?
Mình phối hợp với Xbox.
Xbox. Bao nhiêu phần trăm ạ? Bao nhiêu phần trăm ăn ý ạ?
Chắc cũng khoảng 100% á.
100% luôn, hèn chi được booyah đúng không? He feel like the person suits him the best in the game is Explorer, and I asked him how many percents you rate himself that being suits with him, and the compatible percent is 100%. No wonder why they always get booyah whenever they play together, right? So Krillin, do you have any words you want to send to the viewers but also to WAG fans? Krillin có lời nào muốn gửi đến các bạn khán giả cũng như là cả đại gia đình của WAG không ạ?
Cảm ơn mọi người đã xem, ủng hộ anh em tập thể.
Thank you so much for watching us and cheer for us. We will try our best to keeping up the game and bring to you guys more booyah. Cảm ơn các bạn vì đã rất là nhiều bởi vì đã lắng nghe bài phỏng vấn của mình và Krillin. Yusu sẽ chúc các bạn có thật nhiều booyah trong trận đấu tiếp theo. Trận đấu tiếp theo mình còn booyah nữa không?
Chắc hên xui.
Hên xui hả? Chắc chắn đi.
Chắc chắn, nhưng mà chắc chắn thì không chắc chắn, mà hên xui là chắc chắn.
Hên xui là chắc chắn. Cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều và bây giờ chúng ta cùng quay lại với bàn caster và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở trận đấu tiếp theo nhé. Thank you so much for watching our interview. I'll see you guys later. Now, let's head back to the caster. See ya.
Okay, I have a genuine question for anyone that just watched that interview. Can anyone out there not like WAG? Because Krillin, I loved how down to earth this man was. He was so adorable during the interview. And at the same time, waving the flag high for the Vietnamese region. Because I think for the longest time, Vietnam has been just seen as a team that's just this. I've heard some people say it's only for inclusion. It is not. That is, I highly look up to the Vietnamese region because they have been working so hard considering they have been looked down upon for such a long time, and their tree is finally bearing fruit. Not in just one team, but they have multiple teams competing here at the Free Fire World Series, and they are showing a lot of potential.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got 5 teams at FFWS SEA, and 3 out of 5 is currently in the top 12. 2 out who are currently in the bottom 6 are not too far away. At most, they are about 25-26 points away from that 12th spot, right? And Heavy obviously looking to make that break in, and if they follow what WAG is doing, obviously the success lies in there. It's not just about the gunfights. You don't really see WAG hitting those big numbers all the time, but you do see them getting towards that final circle a little bit more than the rest of the squads out there.
Like, you've got to find those points somewhere, and if it's not going to be in eliminations, just do the placement points, you know, try and figure out how to get into that final circle. So for WAG to secure this booyah, I mean, this is just going to solidify their position on that leaderboard. They are so high up anyway, it's not funny. They're currently sitting in, before today, they were sitting in 4th place. So I don't expect this team to be able to catch up the Twisted Minds because before today started, the gap between these two teams is sitting at about 50, 60 points. So pretty significant between these two teams, and I don't think we've seen any of them bomb out today. So maybe no changes there, but this does make the job a little bit more difficult for AG because they're trailing in 5th place, and they were so close, 5 points behind when the day started. And for WAG to grab the booyah, that's just made their job 10 times harder, basically.
Elimination leaders, though. So I'm a little curious if or not WAG will be holding on to that number 1 spot because they don't seem to be the team with the most number of eliminations.
No.
Some of the others really standing them up here. But key players as well, as far as damage is concerned, Ray most definitely outdid himself. 6 headshots from Exposi and 7 grenades courtesy of Caramel from AG Global.
Hey, we see AG using those grenades all the time, and it's working out in their favor. So, you know, if it's working for them, just keep it up. Love those grenades, especially if you can get them over those blue walls. And look at this, WAG, they managed to keep 1st place with just 1 point over EVOS. AG unfortunately going to be in 3rd place with 16 points, Attack All Round in 4th, and Star Knights in 5th place with 11 points. Now, the surprising thing for people that did not tune into this game is take a look at our bottom 2 teams. Vamos, this is not really a surprise, but Buriram were knocked out thanks to Attack All Round. So maybe today's the day that we start to see these teams really fight back against Buriram.
Maybe indeed, but of course my eyes still pretty much heavy on Heavy NP Esports down in the 13th and the 14th spot. They do need to hustle to overtake GOW, who are not even playing today, so it should not be impossible. They just need to get to that final circle. Easier said than done, of course. PE Sports, through 2 matches, have only managed to secure a total of 6 points. An average of 3 points per game is not the same PE Sports that we saw at the Esports World Cup.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what sort of happened between that period of time and today. Like, was it maybe a different approach? We know even before the new patch landed, we can't really blame the new patch either because they were still playing on the old patch before the games, when the tournament started. The patch came a little bit later on. So I kind of wonder what really changed for this team internally, because clearly something changed. It's just we don't have the information, you know. We don't get to ask the coaches, hey, what happened? You know, that I would love to know, but we don't get access to the coaches, unfortunately. But maybe this is just a team trying to figure something out. Maybe they're trying to figure out, okay, we're inspired by the way that this team A or B plays. Let's try and incorporate their play style, but maybe it's just not something that's really suiting them at this point. I really don't know. But as we do prepare for game number 3 here at AJ, we are going to go for a quick commercial break. So folks, if you need to do anything, do it now, but make sure you're back within the next 5 minutes because we are getting ready for match number 3 here at the Free Fire World Series. See you in a minute. 5 minutes.
Something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
A little unfortunate. Diggs, on the other hand, outside the circle, and RRQ takes a easy booyah.
Target kita main aja sih, nggak ada. Udah lolos ini.
But can he go up against 3 players? Diamond will put him in the middle of the pack. Absolutely, and there's no doubt whatsoever they are going to be able to pull this off. Shin too low on that HP, and RRQ
off that glue wall. The rush by Karoro still managed to survive.
circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
A little unfortunate. Diggs, on the other hand, outside the circle, and RRQ takes a easy booyah.
Target kita main aja sih, nggak ada. Udah lolos ini.
But can he go up against 3 players? Diamond will put him in the middle of the pack. Absolutely, and there's no doubt whatsoever they are going to be able to pull this off. Shin too low on that HP, and RRQ
off that glue wall. The rush by Karoro still managed to survive, but Team Falcons grab their booyah.
ขอบคุณทุกคนมากครับที่ยังเชียร์กันอยู่ครับก็ไม่ต้องเป็นห่วงนะครับ
Still alive. AVAC still healing up. Nope, didn't die.
Nice.
Dạ do tụi mình bắn ấy và xem thường đối thủ.
Team Falcons will be eliminated and ready on a healing gameplay. No.
Mình hy vọng các bạn khán giả sẽ cổ vũ cho các đội tuyển của Việt Nam ạ.
Circle it. Circle, you let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
Round 1. Fight.
Welcome back, survivors. 2 games have elapsed, 4 more to go. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustache, down here with the one and only Danley to bring you the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia Fall Edition broadcast. Today is day 14, which means once again, Danny, time is running out. Time is very, very, very precious, especially for the teams that have already played yesterday. Today is their final opportunity to pick up their precious points from this week before we head into the final one.
Yeah, like I think we are starting to already see signs of teams locking in their fates as well. And in particular, it's the teams that are way down on that leaderboard. I think we're really looking at like, what, 18, 17, 16? I think everything is basically almost unreachable at this point unless someone turns a switch, turns a knob and says, we're going to score 150 points in every single play day from this week and next week. And 150 points for anybody is a really big ask, especially for a team that hasn't been consistent up until this point.
I still have got my eyes on Heavy and PE Sports. They are not really hustling just yet. 13 and 6, you know, towards the bottom of the leaderboard. This is a tough one, Danny. I mean, if they don't start picking up those precious points now, I think we might just end up throwing them into the same group as Vamos and Expansu.
Yeah. There is probably still a ray of light for Todak. I actually think this is a team that could make that climb happen.
Yeah,
but it also
I agree.
puts into question, is God of Wolf and Onyx Olympus going to score enough points to keep their placements, right? Because we also, as much as we want to root for the teams that are not in top 12, we also have to look at the teams that are towards the bottom of the bracket. How many points are they scoring? And are they scoring enough points to maintain that distance between them and the teams still trying to climb into that top 12th place? And just going off of points from the previous play day, God of Wolf and Onyx Olympus, they picked up 41 and 53 points apiece. Which
Wait. Am I looking at this right? X-Ball is outscaling Moshi and Dew on the damage from the AWM. Do we have a new deadly sniper on the block?
We actually might. I mean, considering that, you know, they even mentioned X4 as well.
What? I mean, that is pretty impressive, right? Because we have always known Dew as well as Moshi to be the, you know, eyes out there, you know, eagle eyes. They are able to spot you out from afar, able to deal, you know, deadly shots. And now X-Ball outscaling both of them. And of course, this information is, you know, collated over the past few weeks. And WAG is not, doing too badly on the overall leaderboard. They've got 409 eliminations in total, about 100 away from Buriram. But to be able to kind of keep up in terms of the damage is pretty impressive for X-Ball.
He's not keeping up. He's exceeding everyone's expectations.
Amen.
Maybe he's the guy that you kind of have to look out for, you know? That everyone's used to hearing Moshi and Jin's name, that X-Ball creeps out of the shadows. I'm not sure about you, I don't think a lot of people are looking at WAG. I think a lot of the top competing teams, they're looking at other faces, other players, other teams. They kind of look at WAG. I think they're still side-eyeing. I don't think this team is getting the respect that they deserve.
I most definitely agree with you, and I think what is going to earn WAG the respect today here is overtaking AG Global on a day where they are playing in the exact same lobby. They are 1 point away from AG. AG currently holds on to the 4th spot. If WAG can succeed in doing so today, they are going to move away from the one-hit wonder ranking to, okay, this is a serious threat. We all need to make sure we deal with WAG on the final week.
Oh boy, look what's happening towards the bottom of the map. We actually have Star Knights going up against AG, and this is a full roster lineup as well going up against one another. So we're going to have to see who gets the better weapons, the better loadout before they start shooting. And so far, nobody has gone down as of yet, but we are starting to see some damage ticks there for Stop, as he is down to half health, but thankfully not enough damage to finish him off, and he is slowly ticking back. So no full engagements yet for either of these teams, it looks like.
AG Global, very smart move to back away, and Star Knights, they better thank their lucky stars, because the last thing they need is an engagement early game. This is one of the squads that we haven't really been highlighting, but they do need the points because they're currently in the bottom 6. In fact, they're doing worse than heavy NPE squads, even worse than Toda. So yeah, Star Knights run. AG Global shouldn't be back in a way you should be.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we did see on the kill feed as well just now that Onyx Olympus securing their first knockout there onto WAG. So WAG up to a bit of a shaky start, but it's just one. Okay, it's just one elimination. It could change later on. But AG, I think this team, they're probably ready to actually try and fight into Star Knights. And I hope Star Knights, they have the appropriate resources to deal with this, because AG, once they have their sights set on you, they will commit for those eliminations. They will not stop relenting trying to get those points.
Vice MKS, Expand player. Expand, I mean, I don't know if he made the better bet, because he still in the bottom 6 on a new team. So this is probably something that he should have thought of through before making that hop. Quite a number of players have left the ranks of Expand. A little surprising after what they've been able to build over the past few years, and now it feels like they're starting back from scratch all over again.
Starting back from scratch, you could be seeing a couple scratch marks here as AG slowly advancing onto this compound, but no clear sight on these players for Star. We are seeing a couple of other teams go for skirmishes on the other side of the map though, and Caramel and Stop. Is AG just going to leave this? Although, unless they can catch sight of Raz, I don't think they've seen Raz yet, but he will reveal his position. He has thrown a couple of gunshots, so now he has showed himself. Is this maybe the time that they try and come in for the backstab? Caramel being caught out by Raz. They don't get the full elimination, but 18 Deer, we know this player can also put on quite a show if you give him the setup.
Absolutely. I mean, very impressive over the Esports World Cup. Lee missing, but 18 Deer goes in for the backstab, and Cypher denies. Vice MKS is there for the trade. XM8 to the head, but Dew fires. Back and forth we go, but Star Knight taking the bigger hit. Now they need to go in for the pickup. Unfortunately, Liam on the ground as well. Raz running away, tail between his legs. He does have the pocket market, just needs a few seconds and a few extra coins.
In the meantime, though, Onyx Olympus, I think they may have just chewed a little bit too much because WAG are the ones that are trying to jump into Onyx themselves. Gare on the ground, no teammate in sight, too far away to pick them up. And Onyx, they're basically just going to have to try and go for that consolation play as Star Knights eliminated from the get-go. As Krillin gets caught there by Jack, but they will get the counter knockout. Oh, X-Roy. Yeah, he gets caught. Oh,
X-Ball. My God. We got a new deadly sniper on the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. X-Ball just not stopping at all. And you know, the damage count that we saw, that was just on the AWM. This man has been working that magic all throughout the competition. It is just so impressive to watch.
WAG, next team on the block. You gotta watch out for these guys. Do not let them get away with murder. Because
I'm pulling up the numbers here. 114 eliminations thus far in the competition. X-Ball's popping off.
He's popping off. I think your team's gonna have to look at him. 100%. They have to pay attention to WAG, especially with X-Ball on the map. Now, speaking of teams, very quickly, as you can see on the right-hand side, WAG and AG leading with their 4 eliminations so far. So these two teams off to a strong start as we also have 2 eliminations. Oh, Bigatron. They are there. PE Sports. So it looks like the team is going to be moving together as a unit. So I don't think we're going to be encountering a clash. Got to talk about PE Sports again. This is a team that needs points. But if Bigatron come in and ruin the party, this could really mean something for them as Nero gets shot out of the vehicle. Oh boy, Koja doing some magic.
Yeah, the magic with the sniper, the best weapon to counter any vehicles out there. You can't aim as well as you can with the deadly sniper in your hand. Right place, right time for Koja. PE Sports just losing one. Not really going to hurt them too much. They still can play that survival.
Oh, but guess who is in the picture here? It's WAG. It's just one player, though. We don't know how far the rest of the team is behind him. But if the entire WAG roster is here, Bigatron could be in a lot of trouble themselves.
Yep, Alan. Bye-bye, Alan. See you again later, Alan. We will... got away!
Shoot him down! Can they get
Does he? Uh-oh. But they're going to go in here for the pursuit, potentially. Nah, Bigatron Delta. They're going to let him go with this one. Alan.
That was brilliant. That's a play. That's a highlight. 100%. Did you see how quickly this man reacted? He saw them. He's just like, bye, guys, I'm out.
I've got some money, guys. I'm gonna just launch myself out of here. He buys it, he puts it down on the ground, and he says, "Hasta la vista, I am out." I mean, good on him.
Business class out of there, AJ. My God.
He only had a pistol, okay? Alan would have been messed up. He got out of there in time. 4 eliminations strong. WAG still looking to overtake AG Global once again, who are currently in 4th spot, 1 point ahead of WAG. I never thought I would ever say that. WAG, they've come a very, very, very long way.
Oh, but we could be seeing a Goliath match here as WAG are about to run into AG Global now. Remember, keep in mind, right? Alan, he is not looking too good for loot, and the team is split. X-Ball is not with Krillin and the gang, and AG Global, they are grouping up as 4. So if WAG don't regroup soon, I think they could lose half their roster.
Krillin does not spot him out. Guy was just down there, but has got the glue wall to work around with a Cassie Link. Pushes Cyrus up to the top with the Bison. Scouts out the positions on players. But stop coming in for that backup. Now, WAG in a lot of trouble. X-Ball tagged up by Dew as well. X-Ball, he needs to deal with the sniper off the side of AG Global. AG backs away, but Krillin backs the double. Can he get the follow-up? Here comes the finisher squad, Alan. Cypher right outside. Krillin turns the corner 180. Good glue wall. Backs away. Cypher tag. Krillin making it all happen for the squad.
WAG, what is this team on today? Still looking for Cypher here, but my gosh, the play from Krillin, like getting rid of Paramore and Stop.
Oh, beauty.
The lineup. My goodness, WAG are on fire today. This, honestly, incredible. I am a big fan of this team today because they are pulling out all the stops, all the plays, and they're not getting rid of all the little fish, the little krill at the bottom of the leaderboard. They're taking out our top dogs too.
I mean, that's what you call an overkill, all right? They needed 1 point more than AG. They got 3 off of AG. That's some solid stuff right there from WAG. Beautiful gameplay from the squad overall. I mean, when they turn it on, they are absolutely on point. Attack all around, managing to sneak in a couple of shots on Heavy as they drop by into their compound. But Attack all around cannot make too much of noise. The predators of the league, Buriram right behind them, and it looks like they're already paying that attention to Attack all around.
Oh, this could get really ugly here for Attack all round, because did they reveal themselves? Because if they did, Buriram are well aware of this, and Heavy, I like the fact that Heavy, they're playing incredibly quiet, because they could get out of this scot-free if Attack all round do run into that engagement there with Buriram. It's up to Attack all round. Do they reveal themselves? Because they also don't know that Buriram is there. They don't realize how close they are.
This is where that R1 comes into play. Ooh. But sometimes, even if you've got all the information, can your skills in the game get the job done? Can your mechanical skills outdo your opponents? And you know it is going to be difficult to beat Buriram on a good day for the squad. But it looks like the Titans will not be dropping by yet.
Yeah, I think Attack all round may have seen Buriram, because they immediately they immediately moved into a bit of a defensive position there. I think they're second guessing themselves, thinking, is this worth it? Can we get these eliminations quick enough to be able to pivot onto whoever's going to try and vulture? But this is Buriram as well. Like, they have no idea who this third team could possibly be. And the circle, this is going to push them closer to Attack all round, who are... Actually, is that Vamos?
Oh
Hello?
My God. They hop on in, attack all around, being attacked from the back. Can they secure themselves on this defensive spot? But look, from the opposite side, Buriram gets involved in the fight as well. Everybody now hitting down on the team Vamos, but a good portal goal beams them out of there. Jun is left for dead. Man cannot do anything, and Attack all around can't really aggress at this point of time as well. And now that aggression comes to a settle, as even Vamos thinks like, okay, this is just not worth it.
But the thing is, though, now Attack all round know where this angle is going to be for Buriram, who are slowly making their way in. And I cannot imagine what Attack all round is feeling right now, because they're feeling very claustrophobic. They're next to Heavy. They have Buriram advancing onto them as well. And I do believe there's another team towards the northern side of them as well. Bigatron not too far away. So this is a very, very small place to be.
Stop. Cannot be stopped from... Yeah, my God. Jonah just doing Jonah stuff once again. That AC-80 is such a menace. The moment the adjustment was laid on that AC-80, it came right back into play. It's a fun pick once again. And you're going to just see a lot of this mid to long combats going on. We are back to the sniper marksman meta, baby. EVOS Divine in a lot of trouble. Right ahead of them, they've got AG Global and Buriram. And Dew gets the sharp shot. Aim got down. And EVOS Divine, they are stuck.
They're stuck, and they don't have a way up that tower either, so they're basically at the mercy of Dew. Actually, no, Dew has dumped down. Carol has brought the team back as well, so EG Global looking to try and go for the reposition. G'day, though. He's like, hey, g'day, mate. Can I have some Dew, please?
Yeah, he's like, I'll just finish the job myself, says G'day. Drops by, but of course, he's got ABAX for the backup, so it's a 2v1, and they waste so much of time. Circle leaves them high and right. Dew says, hasta la vista. They didn't even see him jump out of there. What a smooth move coming through. Again, nice! Meets his hand from across the battlefield.
EVOS didn't even get the elimination themselves. That's so unfortunate, because they're only sitting at 2 eliminations. Instead, changing their point of view there to PE Sports, who is the next closest team. But look at this, though. Buriram in that circle as well. So, EVOS, they've got to make a decision. Do you want to go into this, or are you going to play it slow? Maybe play around the side of PE Sports instead, because if they go left, I don't think that's the right decision.
Even Lady Luck is hating on PE Sports. They keep putting the circle too far away from this Vietnamese squad. They're making them hustle so much. Now PE needs to make the rotation out in the open. Pass EVOS Divine. Pass Heavy and deal with Buriram. That's too much. But X-Ball shut down by PE. Just a knock. Koja knocks down X-Ball as he gets picked right back up. Two teams aiming at them. EVOS Divine going to find Nero as well as Buriram defend against Semi.
They catch Jump God, so Buriram, they haven't lost a player at all. Cougar is here, but he just can't land the shots. Jonah, an absolute beast on this second floor. And now Buriram comfortably positioning themselves on that second floor as the rest of the team's left out in the open. They're going to struggle to find anything to hide behind. A rock, a tree, anything. They need something, but you can see already PE Sports struggling with this simple boulder because this is all they have left.
Yeah, the defense failed there for attack all around, and Jonah just made the job look so easy with the grenade launcher. And now, one final player surviving, PE Sports, just can't find a way out as Heavy just belts them with all of the bullets that they have on hand. PE making that slow rotation around, looking out for WAG and AG Global. This is a crazy circle.
It is a crazy circle. We still have WAG here, but it looks like Krillin may have been caught here. Explorer is nearby, but remember, this circle is going to be quite painful if they try and go for the revives. Cyrus going to be moving forward for the team, running into Twisted Minds, but he is pretty injured, taking quite a bit of damage himself. So he's going to try and go for the gatekeep play. WAG, this is incredibly risky, and they're going to try and go for it, but they're getting caught left, right, and center. Alan, last player standing for this team. Can he redeem his teammates? Because he's going into an entire team of Twisted Minds, and I don't think that's going to be it for WAG. So after a fantastic game 2, they tried to make the aggressive play happen, but none of their crucial hits connected.
Yeah, unfortunate for WAG. It was just all a scramble. This is just pure chaos at its finest here in the world of Free Fire. Too many teams, too many players. Such a tiny little circle for all of them to survive. And Buriram on the top floor. EWAS Divine camping at the bottom. Pungod still alive from the side of attack all around. But Twisted Mind's gonna look to make a difference here by taking him out of the equation. Now high ground advantage for Buriram, and they get the spot on everyone.
They get the spot that everyone wants so badly. But look at this next circle, AJ. It's going to be basically within reach of everybody, but no compound in sight. So if you're going to try and use the compound, this is the last chance you have to use this before you have to try and make that open run in open ground. Buriram, full team is there, but they have to play in that blue zone. They're going to take quite a bit of damage. They have to find a way out. They have found that window. PE Sports going to be shot down on the other side of the field. They had nothing left to run towards. Buriram trying to play with the fence. None of the teams caught it. How the heck are they not being caught?
Oh, this is just beauty, man. Even the Riptide Rhythm cannot stop Buriram, but Pungod from the back gets eliminated. Jonas on fire with the grenade launcher once again, hitting down Exposi. Back to back to back. He said he wants to give it away to Wasana. He's a cheat because Jonah wants the MVP title for himself yet again.
And Twisted Minds, they're going to be pincer because look at this, Heavy are targeting them instead of Buriram. So now Twisted Minds, who had the advantage against Buriram, have to deal with Heavy now. And knowing Buriram, they're going to play it slow because you know Buriram. They're a slow team. They won't force the issue. They will let Heavy do all of the heavy lifting for themselves. But now these teams, they're spreading out. And it looks like Heavy taking critical amounts of damage because Buriram are turning onto them. Twisted Minds, in the meantime, though, trying to decide, do they want Buriram? And these teams just playing a game of chasey, trying to get rid of somebody, but nothing's connecting.
Round and round the merry-go-round, but now Twisted Mind stuck. Heavy in between two Titans. Get high, pelting them from the right-hand side. Twisted Mind stopping this merry-go-round ride as well, making sure Heavy gets stuck. Riptide Rhythm exposes the players of Heavy. Buriram still needs to make that rotation. Ultimate shutdown from the back. They finally get the elimination, and now Heavy defending up against Twisted Minds, but Buriram shutting them down one at a time from the back.
Or is it going to be Buriram maybe being the saving grace here for Heavy? Because now Heavy playing defensive. It's Twisted Minds still sitting on 4 players going up against Buriram, but they have to try and find a way to get through this blue wall. They're still trying to go for the chase, but Heavy, they have lost hands. Now we're down to our final 2 teams. Full rosters. It's time to go because this circle was moving, and with the glue walls, they're going to start taking critical damage from that blue zone. Roshi, first player to go down. The sniper is down on the side of Buriram, but they are trying to go for those heads. Diamond on the ground as well. X-Posey looking really low, trying to find somebody. Nameless though on the ground. Swinger's gone. Posey all alone, and he gets caught. Buriram, second booyah of the day. Oh my gosh, what a insane final circle, AJ. 3 rosters of teams trying to decide who they want to go for. And just an insane stalemate.
This one is for the record books for sure. First of all, this needs to be addressed. This is always the problem with Jonah. He's always clowning around. He said Wasana can have it, he can take the Predator title, but this man's bagging. He's got a huge body count. There are skeletons in his closet that he's hiding from us because he knows how to get those elimination points out there on the battlefield. But Wasana, he kept up. He caught up with the 6 eliminations. I do believe he managed to catch up to 8 as well. I don't know who wins out the MVP through the eliminations this time through Jonah and Wasana, because they were both on fire in that final circle.
Look, they're both from Buriram, so I don't think it really matters.
My God.
Oh, but this was such a chaotic circle. These teams just playing this game of chasey, trying to catch someone out, and nothing landing until that circle really started to move in because there was so much space. You can see these teams, they had so many resources, the number of glue walls that were deployed. Can you imagine what this endgame could have looked like if we were playing on the previous patch, where glue walls were technically much stronger? Oh my gosh.
One of the few teams that are still running the Awakened Andrew on meta. The Awakened Andrew has been adjusted a little bit. Now you need to be in a 15-meter radius in order to get the extra defensive buff. And the way Buriram has changed their playstyle to really stick together, play together as a squad, just become that deadly machine out there on the shutdown, always just rotating around, except in this final few moments where you know it's important to have someone on that flank. And as usual, Moshi just holds the ground on there for them. And Twisted Minds, you know, we talked about this one as well, right? You can find the final circle, but can you match it to the mechanical skills of Buriram? Twisted Minds tried. They most definitely did.
They tried, and it wasn't easy as well, right? We have to keep in mind there was a third party. We had Heavy in this as well. But I'm genuinely curious to hear what Buriram has to say after that, because that was probably one of the most chaotic games we've had in the tournament so far. Let's see what they have to say.
Again and again, this is the representative from Buriram United Esports. Yay! Give it up for Get High. Get High. What happened to you guys that you fought with Attack All Around in that house? Is it because Attack All Around did something to you guys and end up at 9 at the previous game?
ทำไมเราถึงเลือกไปที่เราไปไฟกับAttack All Around ในบ้านเป็นเพราะว่าเกมก่อนหน้าเราโดนเขาปิดเกมไปตั้งแต่แรกหรือเปล่า
ใช่เขาตะโกนข่มขวัญกันแบบสุดฤทธิ์แบบโอ้โดนไปซะอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
ก็ไม่ครับเล่นลองแผนเฉยๆครับไม่ได้มีอะไรมากครับ
We just try the new strategy is nothing much than that.
Okay, so I want to ask you about other regions, especially for Indonesia, because they are did very well in this patch too. So is there any team that got into your eye or got your attention?
ก็คือทีมอินโดค่อนข้างทำได้ดีในแพทนี้อันนี้คือถามถึงลีเจียนอื่นแบบว่ามีทีมไหนไหมที่แบบว่าอยู่ในสายตาของเรา
ก็ตอนนี้น่ามี RQ ครับผมเล่นดีครับ
Now we got an eye on RQ because they play very well.
So in your opinion, what is RQ style of play?
แล้วในความคิดเห็นของเราคิดว่า RQ นะมีสไตล์การเล่นยังไงคะ
ก็ดูดันเนี่ยเหมือนเราดีครับแต่ว่าแบบเขาปรับตัวได้ไวครับ
They are quite aggressive similar to us but they are quite quick to adapt to the new style.
Okay, last question I want to ask you about. Do you already have a plan to deal with RQ in the point rush round?
แล้วเรามีแผนที่จะรับมือกับ RQ ในรอบ point rush หรือยังคะ
ไม่มีครับผมเล่นตามเกมครับ
Nothing but we just like trying to adapt with the games.
So this is Get High from Buriram United Esports, and we are ready for the next game. So send back to you, Shoutcaster.
It's really insane how these players are competing with each other, even as they dominate at the top of the leaderboard, right? The fight between Jonah and Wasana through the eliminations. At one point, the captain of the squad was bringing in the least number of points through eliminations. But it is so impressive to see how Jonah just steps back up into his responsibilities and says, you know what, I gotta slay and I gotta show these boys, I gotta show all of these people, our fans, that I still can get the job done. It's not just about sitting down wearing the captain's band, right? Man leads through example, Danny.
Exactly. I'm actually so glad you brought that up, because sometimes to be respected as a leader, it's not just the brain, but you also need to be mechanically skilled to prove to your teammates that you also deserve to be on this team, okay? You're not getting carried by your teammates. You're not only the brains, but you also need to be the pillar, the engine, the guy that keeps everyone together if things start to fall apart. Now, I think the unique dynamic for Buriram is that we've never really seen this team collapse because one person goes to
This man is collecting points for Yuki. It's just too cheeky, right? And you know what, Danny? I really love what kind of a leader Jonah is, right? He tells Wasana, he says, you know what? You can have the MVP title. You can have the Predator title. And, you know, if he had just not taken eliminations, Wasana would feel like, oh, dude, are you giving this to me? Are you gifting it to me? Can I not earn it for myself? So therefore, he brings out the very best in him and he forces Wasana to bring out the best within himself. And look at this, 7 eliminations. And he was actually leading. Wasana caught up through the very end. He said, like, Captain, you want me to prove you that I can get the job done? I will get the job done. What a play. What a comeback by these two.
Look. If the best players in the entire game are on your team, the best competition you have is against each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Silly things, trying to get those, who gets the most elims,
Look at that.
eliminations, grenades.
Side by side.
Look, I'm just glad that this team, regardless, because we have seen them have a couple of slump days, they're still always smiling and laughing. Like, you never really see any tension between them in any of their games. They're always relaxed.
Yeah.
And personally, I think teams and players perform the best when they are in the most relaxed state because they're not feeling stressed, they're not being pressured, they're not being pushed, they're playing basically their best because we can kind of relate to this as well. I think some people aren't going to agree, but hear me out here. I want you to imagine when you're playing a game of Free Fire or any esports title, whether you're playing something competitive or not, you are probably going to play worse when you are feeling some kind of different emotion rather than relaxed. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling agitated, you make rash decisions. You normally make thoughts, you make plays and things that you don't normally do. Whereas if you're relaxed, you're going to always make the correct decisions because in the moment you are basically clear-minded. You're not being held back by something mentally. And for Buriram, you can see this happen all the time. Whereas for other teams, I do see some tension sometimes, like a couple of straight faces, players looking a little tense. I think the worst is when a team is quiet, when they're not looking at each other, they're not talking to each other. I think that's when you can tell there's a bit of a mental boom situation that's happening.
Absolutely right. And you wake up in the day with a smile, you know everything's gonna go well. You wake up a little grumpy, and even your husband's gonna get it, Danny. I know.
I thought you were gonna use this as an example of you having a wife beat you, but okay.
So here's the thing. Buriram is a bunch of boys that know how to get this done. And the one thing that gives them the confidence is, you can ask Jonah, he's never challenged. I mean, yes, they play to win, but that is not their main priority, right? They want to give their very best, like you said. And they know they've already achieved whatever there is to achieve. At least Wasana is the hungriest one because he has not gotten the title for himself ever since he joined the squad. But apart from that, everybody else is like, we are legit millionaires at this point of time.
Look, maybe he's the sharing and caring kind of guy who's just like, it's okay, you guys can have all the glory, as long as I'm there with you when we win. It's fine, it's to get my paycheck. Everyone sort of functions differently. Speaking of functioning differently, we are going to be playing things a little bit differently here because for match number 4 is Kalahari. So games are going to look a little bit different here for these teams. I am curious to see if we will continue to see this bit of a slower paced game style on Kalahari because remember, one of the larger maps in the game, lots of open spaces.
Yeah.
Are we going to be seeing 11 teams at the 4th circle again? Because this has been a trend today.
Falcons not playing today, so the top 3 will be Twisted Minds, Buriram, and EVOS Divine. But unfortunately for EVOS Divine, not a single booyah they hold on this map. Guess what? WAG, currently in 4th in terms of total points picked up here, has got 2 booyahs to their name. Twisted Minds has got 2 as well, so this might just be a close fight. We could just see Vietnam take one back home for them. We get, bring Yunsol back on cam. Potential, very, very big potential.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot of potential for WAG to be a big contender here. Like, they are playing really well, as unfortunately in that last game, they did kind of drop out towards the middle, but they did go down with, I think, 10 eliminations. So they're still making things work. It's just, are they going to keep things polished enough going into Kalahari? Like, I want to know, are we going to be seeing any hot drops? Are we going to be seeing any aggressive plays? Are we going to be seeing anything different for some of these teams?
I most definitely do not expect anything different other than from PE Sports and Heavy. So show me what you got, Vietnam. I am still waiting. I mean, there was a little bit of an improvement in the previous game from Heavy. PE Sports kind of bumped themselves up a little bit as well. They are overall doing better than Onyx Olympus, who managed to get 11 points from the first 3 games. Onyx not having a good day. That immediately means PE Sports as well as Heavy are having it slightly better. But of course, as we head into Kalahari, let's see if or not these bottom dwellers can do something to launch themselves up to the top.
Yeah, just a quick reminder for our viewers at home as well. I'm glad you brought up Onyx in this matchup because we did go for a bit of a player swap. So Gardu is in and Zyro is going to be out for Onyx. So I think the question here is this change going to be enough to bring success for Onyx? Because they have been a little bit cold today, and this is probably one of the better maps for this team because Indonesia in general does tend to perform on Kalahari. So if there's a time to pick up points, it's got to be now, and maybe Gardu is the winning player for this team.
I don't know, because Gardu is a rusher, but he is a little too hot-headed. We've seen him rush into situations many a times, not really bringing in the points for the squad. He is the backup player thus far. 10 eliminations he has brought the squad. And if you compare him to Zyru's performance with the 66 eliminations that he has for Onyx Olympus, this might just be putting, their star player on a little bit of a rest here. Giving Gardu a little bit of airtime.
Speaking of star player, we're seeing a little bit of action here coming out from the Star Knights themselves as Cyrus, first player for WAG, going to be taken out of the play.
Oh, wow.
And Alan going to be rushed on as well here, but looks like Alan able to stop 18 Deer, so Star going to be losing a player themselves. Alan though being chased by Fire's MKS, and he will get the knock, but they've lost 18 Deer. Krillin is on the high ground over there, and thankfully far enough away to be out of reach there for Star Knights. So 1-to-1 trade. It could have been worse, but also could have been better.
I mean, 3 eliminations in total for Star Knights. So this just must mean that WAG suffered a huge loss in this competition very, very early on within this map. So the recovery phase for WAG, they have been doing pretty decently thus far with a single booyah in hand. 38 points from the first few games before heading into this Kalahari. So let's see if or not they can double that by the end of the day.
Thankfully, it's early enough, so any losses that sort of happen for teams, it's still okay because there are still plenty of places you can hide, grab loot.
Nice.
So yeah, still early enough for recovery if that is something that has to happen here. PE Sports trying to get out of sights here from Vamos, but looks like Vamos are heavily pursuing this team. About to catch sight of Don't Cry, but we have a different engagement happening here as Bigatron are running into Evos.
Good day. A little too close for comfort here, but Ray backing him up with the AC-80 from up top. Headshot should hurt with a all-new buffed up fresh shot out of this gun. Nem's in great position to punish Gade as well, but choosing to not approach Abex with that right-hand side flank. AG Global watching this happen as well. They can hear the gunshots. They might just drop by to say hello.
Ooh. I don't know if this is the right play, but if this is what they want to do, this might not be too bad. Bigatron going to be the ones to try and make the escape happen, but Evos looking to start hunting their prey. I hope Bigatron is ready for a potential fight here. They are trying so desperately to get out of this, but look how quickly Evos are trying to start shooting them down. They do get a couple of shots. Koja caught on the high ground, now on the ground, and they've actually managed to catch Kong as well. Oh, Evos slowly trying to break Bigatron apart, and they catch another one. They put Nems. Kyung does get brought back thanks to Dix, but oh boy, this is not what Bigatron want to start the game with.
Yeah, he was straight up telling Bigatron Delta, we are not Falcons, baby. We are definitely not Falcons. We are big bros from your homeland. Evos Divine, 4 points. Easy. All thanks to that one lucky revival. Bigatron still stays in this fight.
They still stay in the fight, but my goodness, team just completely crippled. The entire roster has been crippled at this point, so gonna have to basically start from scratch and hope they don't run into anybody. Speaking of not running into anybody, Vamos has been caught as Jun gets shot down there thanks to Krillin, and looks like Legolas also gonna be caught, unfortunately. So Vamos, they're biting a little bit too much than they could handle. They do get the revive there onto Legolas thanks to Kathizi, but Vamos, I mean, they tried to make something happen. It just did not work in their favor, unfortunately.
Yeah, mechanical skills just could not keep up. Vamos will continue to struggle in the competition, but Jack now with Trogon. Great glue wall, timing perfect. P90, Don't Cry will fall right here as Jack gets the headshot. Easy elimination. The rest of PE Sports cannot do much. But Star Knights right behind them. And Onyx Olympus now in a lot of trouble.
The team is split as well, so unless they can somehow regroup, this could be a really tricky situation as we switch on over to EVOS here, who are fighting head-to-head up against Heavy. Hans was completely exposed. He's going to be the first one to go down. His team is on the high ground. And EVOS going to be up to 5 eliminations for the game. They are our elimination leaders at this point of time. And if things continue the way they do, they're just going to get even more as they found Legolas from Vamos. Oh boy, another elimination to add to their kill count. EVOS, 6 eliminations. They are off to a fantastic start here on Kalahari.
Just saying hello to Legolas. A quick smile, a good shot, and EVOS Divine will continue on their way. Attack all around, on the other hand, just at the very edges of Bayfront. This might just be deadly if they decide to engage. Off-screen, Cypher finds Hans. Heavy being pelted down, but Get Nice is there for the revival. Buriram finding Don't Cry from PE Sports as well. So engagement still happening all around this map. But those revives are just as quick.
I've been watching the revives just happen. Pop, 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 pop. We've just never been below 46 players on this map. It's actually kind of insane how quickly people are being brought back. We are going to be seeing another one there, unfortunately, as Kathizi gets brought back. So back up to 48 players.
Don't worry.
We're going to be seeing some very inflated kill counts, AJ, just because of the number of revives we're seeing today.
40 seconds more and that pocket market closes. So then you try your revives. Vending machines are a little limited at this point of time. No more vending machines through those airdrops as well, which means these teams really need to protect some of these defensive spots. They do have a vending machine for them just to buy a couple of insurance purchases right back. Hans comes one back through, potentially one of the final few revives before the chaos ensues shortly. EVOS Divine on that rotation. Heavy already have this defensive side to work with, and Artemis takes himself out, making it easier for EVOS Divine. Heavy just crumbling because of that one mistake.
Oh no, Heavy, they've lost the momentum, and oh gosh, they've lost the majority of their players. Heavy, first team to be eliminated, but looks like Ray has been caught thanks to stop on the side of AG Global. And now AG, knowing where EVOS are, good chance that we're going to be seeing a potential fight between these two teams. But keep in mind, we've got another team here as well. Star Knights just around the corner. G'day though, oh my gosh, this man making a very brave play, but being caught out in the open. He's on the cliff side though, but they're not even going to bother to pick up. AIMGO's like, we're just going to have to leave him. Oh, it's too risky.
Exactly. And this is the importance. This is the meta shift. Now they desperately need those vending machines. And this will be that opportunity for them to bring their players right back in here for EVOS Divine. Onyx Olympus, on the other hand, finding attack all around. Good double glue wall just to barricade himself in. Cougar, on the other hand, caught out by Jack, and a clean headshot for the man.
And Jump God, next player to potentially go down here. He's hiding around that corner, using all the glue walls to buy that time, but he will finally go down, pushing Onyx Olympus up to 8 eliminations for this round. The Indonesians, they are blitzing through these teams, just picking up kill after kill. So maybe we could be seeing a lot of Indonesian teams at the end of these circles. Buriram, though, going to finally put themselves up in that kill count, picking up an elimination themselves as well, proving that they're not sleeping either. They are still lurking, but they're not in the vicinity of other teams as Caramel. Man, AG, this team plays so aggressive sometimes that it's scary to watch them, but if it pays off, it absolutely pays off, as Raz gets clipped, unfortunately. So Star down to Lehman 18DA, who are going to have to hide in this compound here. They do have a glue wall to block out the entrance, but this is up against AG Global.
And finally, the pace just comes down a tad bit slower. And those revives are not as many, so we are losing players and they are just not being brought back. Cypher sending A-backs to follow on as well, but 18DS seems to have found himself a vending machine, buying back 2 players instantly. Cypher finding an opportunity, and from up top, 18DS shut down. No clutch moments for 18DS in a while here.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised as to what sort of happened with 18 Deer. Maybe has he tried to go for a different style of play? Is it maybe the meta that's really shut him down? I think, if anything, we crowned him as probably one of the players to watch out for at the Esports World Cup because he made so many clutch plays happen.
Yeah.
but since then, he's been pretty on the lowdown for the team. I kind of wonder what changed.
Then again, you know, your back is bound to hurt after you carry your squad for so many games, right?
Arthritis, no worries.
Eventually brings you down. He was divine. Down and outed by WAG this time around. Good revenge coming through from the Vietnamese squad on a revival spree earlier. They've managed to find that recovery, but tanking the damage from the third circle, not the greatest of idea, but they are going to take this big risk because too many teams still surviving and the rotation straight forward would have hurt them too much.
Ban, I think he's trying so hard to find Raz, but Raz is really wasting his time duking it out. Glue wall gets thrown up by Ban just about a little bit of time, trying to reposition himself. These two players, the fact that they're sort of going for this very cheeky play. And it's a this is a very risky and expensive play because you are using so many resources to survive the circle here. So Raz is effectively wasting time, I feel.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
I mean, this is just beautiful stuff from WAG, just shutting down player after player from the side of Star Knights. And as they try to get away, they drop by PE.
Jack actually did not see the play and he just sort of ran away. Oh boy, this is so painful to watch these teams playing outside the circle. So risky. We do have a launch pad here for Krillin, so WAG trying to decide where do they want to go. And they're thinking about trying to go for this next drop. But switching over to Onyx here, who was just outside the circle. They can't find him. And they finally found Nero. And they should be able to get this. They've got the entire roster here. Another elim added.
Too easy for Gardu at this point of time. 2 eliminations. He wants to catch up with the rest of the squad. He wants to show us that, hey, I am that super sub that is going to take Onyx Olympus all the way to the top. And he's already off to a great start. But don't cry on the other hand. Just tanking the blue still outside. There's just no way he's going to be able to get in the nick of time. As Bigatron Delta and WAG will be able to stop him. Bomb shot out of the air as well. PE Sports just not having a great day.
No, just a really difficult day, unfortunately, for PE Sports. Just not able to find their footing. It's almost like they run into the wrong teams at the wrong time. Now, speaking of wrong team at the wrong time, Bigatron, I hope they realize who they're sort of dealing with here because this is WAG. And we've seen time and time again that WAG, if you reveal your position to them, they are more than happy to bring the fight to you. And in a lot of cases, they've been pretty successful once they try to do that. Buriram in the meantime though, trying to do a little bit of damage there to AG Global, and they do manage to catch out Stop, but look at this though, Vamos on their tail. But they're actually moving away from that fight. So Moshi still scouting for the team, catching a lot of bodies here, just realizing where some of these teams are, but looks like Vamos going to be the next target here as Legoloff gets caught down by Wasan and McRory as well. Oh boy, this is just so difficult for Vamos. They think they're in position for this late game and they just get cut down by Buriram, who is ready for this late game situation. Fantastic positioning, especially having a compound as well in Kalahari of all places.
And 13 eliminations strong for AG Global. Onyx Olympus in a terrible spot as AG has got open shots up against them. Buriram placing that pressure on the squad from up top as well. Onyx in a lot of trouble from this sort of a spot. But
they're brave. I will say that.
As we have all witnessed, it is absolutely scarce the existence of that portal go in this new meta.
Maybe teams are just thinking it's not really worth it anymore because they did cut down the distance on the portal go. It doesn't go as far as it used to. Buriram gonna try and go for Onyx. We're still hiding behind that cliff, and they do considerable amount of damage there to Gardu. They don't manage to finish him off though, and Buriram changing their mind, trying to force them around the cliffside, seeing if they're gonna take the bait. But Onyx Olympus pretty dead set on staying on that low ground there, and I do think that is the safer play for now.
Osana pushing up front, looking for those eliminations. AG Global still with that bird's eye view, can't really aim down towards their feet. So that is going to be a disadvantage for AG. They can only engage up against players like Twisted Mind as well as Buriram. WAG for the time being is in a safe spot.
There goes PE Sports. Nero, last player standing, finally goes down. And Onyx Looks like Onyx has been caught. Jack is down. And look at this. Buriram, the moment they see a player go down, they say, guys, it is time to go. 3 players left on the side of Onyx. And they caught Gardu this time with another grenade. Onyx still trying to hide so desperately behind these blue walls. But with this top-down vision, Buriram, they had the advantage. They're going to finally rush in.
Oh my.
And Gari and Gardu going to be cut down any moment now as Buriram rush in. Jonah does get clipped, unfortunately, by Krillin on the other side of the map. WAG actually putting a little bit of pressure onto Buriram themselves. They're going to have to try and go for the pickup, or nope, they're just going to leave Jonah. So Buriram down to 3 players, and they have to start moving in because this next circle, it is not in their favor. It does not include the high ground.
Yeah, Wasana made that call. Wasana was like, you just leave Jonah, you don't pick him up, let's go. I want to get that Predator title, let's do this.
Oh my gosh.
Big it from Delta up against WAG this time round, and WAG actually bagging them out. Onyx Olympus, unfortunately, down to the blue zone. WAG does manage to secure 1, but unfortunately, time and the numbers just not on their side. A maze of blue walls to deal with, and it's just chaos, pandemonium all around, and on top of that, the blue's gonna leave them high and dry, but Krillin gets out in the nick of time.
And they're about to run into Twisted Minds here. So WAG, they've got 3 players remaining. I hope they're ready for this because look at this. They're being hit by a barrage of utility grenades. Blue wall melters. Alan is down on the side of WAG. Twisted Minds still 4-man strong so far. Looking fantastic. They found Krillin. They get rid of him as well. AG Global though. Look on the other side of the map. 16 eliminations. Oh boy! Then Buriram now sticking their nose into someone else's business, and I don't know if they're going to be ready for this. Moshi is still on the other side of the map. They're ready to provide cover for his team where necessary. Caramel trying to do the best he can to try and keep those teams zoned out on the other side. But look at this though. Moshi on the map. He's actually being jumped on. Oh no! And now we're just sitting on a barrage of teams. Buriram at the top. AG Global with 3. Pikachu with 1 player hiding under the vehicle.
Yeah, Buriram just do not have the numbers. They have to play this slow and steady. Get high and Wasana. They've got a sniper and a Drogon. They allow Twisted Minds to do the dirty work. AG Global, they wrap around from the right-hand side, and the backstab gets Diamond. Stop going in for the finisher. But here are the glue wall defenses. Saming tries to put the defense up from the back, and Stop just goes in there, wrecking havoc. Twisted Minds deals with the chaos. Stop taken out of the equation, and Twisted Minds should be able to mow down this house. Wasana with the backstab. He hits a double. And now a 2v2. Make that a 2v1 as Wasana gets hit down onto the ground. Get high surviving on the side of Buriram. Saming bleeding out at his feet.
Oh, Dick's coming in. He's finally revealed himself. He's in the monster truck.
Get in.
He runs over again. He's trying to get Posey. The turn rate, it's too big. X-Posey trying to go for the knock, but Dix is just driving around like an absolute king.
Well, Get High picked himself up with the Horizon line. This is a surprise. So Buriram still in this fight, but Get High, he loses his glue wall right behind Diggs now. X-Posey gets the backstab. Get High down on the ground. X-Posey kicked out of the Stunko, and Bigatron Delta with the monster truck secure a booyah.
I don't think I have ever seen an ending like that before with a monster truck. I did not think Dix was going to survive for that long. I saw him. Okay, I saw him when we still had 5 teams in that circle, hiding behind the monster truck. No one saw him. No one checked. No one looked. He was sitting there quietly waiting for the competition to eat each other up. And then in the final moment, he says, guys, it's time to go. Puts the keys in and just drives his team to victory.
Yeah, he had no right to get the booyah.
No.
That makes him the most deserving player to rip the booyah away. Bigatron Delta from nowhere close to the booyah victory on Kalahari. What a game. What a play by Diggs. And this is something all those pro players have been imagining to do on the stage for a long, long time. I mean, in your usual pub matches, in your ranked games, everybody's pulling this on the opponents. They tried, many failed. This guy just got it done this time around, and many attempts, all right. He tanked the blue, I think 3 times in total, almost missing, making a fool of himself, but never giving up.
I think after this, we will never see this kind of ending ever again, because I feel like after this kind of ending, teams are always going to check vehicles now. They will not leave a single monster truck unturned. They will check that vehicle
Oh, God.
front to back, boot to front, just to make sure you don't have anyone sneaking that cheeky endgame play.
What makes this so much more fun is that animation. When someone gets hit by a vehicle, you know they
Yes.
fly in the air.
Yes, you go
It's the
flying,
most
arms and
pathetic
legs
way
out.
to fly. you just look so bad, all right?
I have questions, and I hope I get those answers in the interview because I genuinely want to know what Dix has to say, especially after that kind of ending. Did he
Goodness.
Did he think he was going to get the booyah that way from the start? Because I think at the beginning he probably thought, I'm probably going to go down soon, but I'm going to keep hiding. I'm not going to reveal myself. And then he realized no one knew he was there. I think that's the moment where he realized, okay, I probably have.
This is that play. He had 13 players around him.
No one noticed.
And
Oh
he
my
got so
gosh.
much- he got so much of chaos, all right? So much. He mowed down Get High. Get High got right back up with the horizon line. Exposy got the distraction. And then Exposy got knocked out of the circle. This is too much. This is why I love Free Fire.
I don't think
Oh, I
you'd
love it.
ever find this kind of ending in any other esport. It's just Free Fire. But we are ready for this interview because this is probably going to be one of the best interviews ever. Gotta hear what Biggestron have to say after. I hope we get Dix. I want to hear what he has to say. Interview's ready. Let's see what our winners have to say.
Congratulations, Bigetron Delta! Wow, I'm so excited. This is the first Booyah finally, even if in the 4th game, right? Okay, so before we go to the next game, I maybe want to talk with Bigetron player first. Hi, Dix.
Halo.
Let me ask you about what do you feel when you were under the car?
Gimana perasaan kamu waktu kamu di bawah mobil? Apa yang kamu rasain?
Biasa aja sih, main tabrak-tabrak aja.
He said that he felt nothing, but he wants to beat the other team.
Oh, I'm so interesting about it. And what makes you got the booyah? Wait.
Apa yang bisa membuat kalian dapetin booyah akhirnya?
Ya, kita kan tadi di match sebelumnya kurang baik. Jadi buat di match ini kita niatnya tadi main tabrak-tabrak aja buat nyari perang.
He said that we didn't play really good in the previous match.
Yes.
So now in the 4th game, we really want to beat the other team.
Wow, I'm proud of you. And who is the most bothering team today?
Siapa sih tim yang paling mengganggu kalian hari ini?
Kalau buat hari ini nggak ada yang ganggu, cuma kalau kemarin ada Falcon. Dan gue ada pesan buat Falcon, selagi gue main, lu nggak akan bisa menang lawan tim gue.
Okay, he said there's no team that's bothering them, but for yesterday it was Falcon. And for Falcon, as long as BTR is playing, you guys will not win to beat us.
Oh my god. Okay, Thai team. I'm sorry. Okay, so we still have 3 games after this. And last questions. Maybe you have a message for BTR fans.
Oke, pertanyaan terakhir. Mungkin kamu ada pesan-pesan untuk fans BTR.
Kalau buat fans BTR sih gak ada ya. Cuma ini Boya gue persembahin buat Ikal yang lagi sakit.
For BTR fans, he doesn't have any words, but this booyah is for Ikal, who is still sick right now.
Okay, for Ikal, get well soon. And thank you so much for Dick. Good luck for Indonesian teams. And we still have 3 games. Is it in the next game booyah for Indonesian teams again? We will see later. And now, back to you, Shoutcaster.
That was our winner. That was the guy that's probably had one of the most iconic booyahs in the history of Free Fire. But I am glad that they sort of talked about the endgame. But I am surprised. Yeah. I don't know about you, AJ, but I'm surprised that he didn't really feel anything in that endgame. I thought maybe there would be some kind of addict, some kind of pressure. I would have loved to have known if this was the plan all along. Like, was this really the plan from the start when we had?
You can't plan stuff like this, Danny.
You can. You gotta plan ahead.
You can pray. You can just act. Okay, it's just a situation where you are stuck in and you need to survive. You need those points. Your team members are all dead. There is no vending machine. You've got no coins. And you just gotta do something. And you've just got the monster truck. What do? Mow them down.
Actually, it could. I want to know, was it Dick's plan or was it maybe the captain's plan of the team saying, Dix, don't move. You move when I tell you. Because even though the players, they play for themselves, I do believe there's still team communication happening, right? Like the captain is probably playing as a spectator for the team and saying, okay, this is probably happening, don't move, make that kind of play. Like, that's what I want to know for some of these teams. Like, do a lot of the teams play independently where they only make decisions for themselves, where if someone's knocked out, that person's out of the picture when it comes to discussions? Or are they very open to a lot of feedback and listening to the captain? Like, I kind of want to know what the dynamic is for Bigatron.
Oh, this is such a beautiful lineup. A double rusher, double bomber setup. And they've also got 2 Kairos on their squad. So you know they're building up their EP. You know they want to tank all of this damage. And this is a CQC combat squad. They want to get into the rough fights up close and personal. And they know that they want to be tanky before they get in there. So they're staying very silent, building up their EP, getting into selected fights. That's why you don't see a lot of eliminations on this team.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they need to do. That is, give us that average, which can be guaranteed time and time again, game after game, just to guarantee the top 12 spot, get into the final week, and wreck the hope for Falcons.
That's their job, isn't it, at this point?
That's their job. No, because look, Bigatron Delta, they're not going to win the FFWS SEA this season. That is for sure. Not because they're not capable of, because there's so many other teams that are so much more consistent. But you're in here to make a name for yourself. And what better way than whooping your existing champs?
I hope they get a sponsor after that. Maybe some kind of vehicle sponsor. Which just have like a brand new car come in. Hey, you want to sponsor you after that vehicle final? Very unlikely, but brilliant play. I don't think we're going to forget this play for such a long time. Now, because of the lack of eliminations, AJ, you are right. They didn't have too many eVims. So this does push Bigatron into 3rd place. So they got 17 points, which is not too bad. But the biggest winners are AG Global and Buram. 23 and 22 points apiece for these teams. So they're just going to zip their way up on that leaderboard. And I think this is bad news for WAG because AG Global, they are slowly creeping away.
Right after I said BDR is not going to win FFWS SEA Fall, I remembered the finals is going to be in Jakarta. You have no idea what's going to happen when these boys have got that home ground advantage. All of a sudden, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They are beating Falcons in game number 1. They've got 6 games to do this. Now they are hyped up. They are pumped up. They go out there. Ikal is back. He's on that monstrous slaying spree. Kyong is doing his job. Dix has got the monster truck. You've got Koja slaying on the backlines as well. Bigatron might just be the team that shocks the whole world.
Look, I do think they are some serious underdogs. And I kind of think if teams don't start respecting Bigatron as well. Like, I know Falcons at this point, they definitely respect Bigatron going into the finals. I think Falcons are going to have to start changing drop points because you can't let them jump on top of them.
And that's the biggest threat, because imagine being the top dogs of the competition, at least from the sense point of an achievement, and now you have to be afraid of Bigatron and change your drop spot.
Of all the teams, Bigatron. Some people might laugh at that. Yeah. Look,
but we're going to take a quick short break. Danny,
yes, we need a break after that.
When we come back, more of this crazy action and drama for all of you guys. We've got 2 more games to go. A little unfortunate. Dex on the other hand outside the circle and RRQ takes a easy booyah.
Target kita main aja sih, nggak ada. Udah lolos ini.
But can he go up against 3 players? Diamond will put him in the middle of the pack. Absolutely, and there's no doubt whatsoever they are going to be able to pull this off. Shin too low on that HP and RRQ
off that glue wall. The rush by Keroro still.
Circle it. Circle, you let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
A little unfortunate. Dex on the other hand outside the circle and RRQ takes a easy booyah.
Target kita main aja sih, nggak ada. Udah lolos ini.
But can he go up against 3 players? Diamond will put him in the middle of the pack. Absolutely, and there's no doubt whatsoever they are going to be able to pull this off. Shin too low on that HP and RRQ
off that glue wall. The rush by Keroro still managed to survive, but Team Falcons grab their booyah.
ขอบคุณทุกคนมากครับที่ยังเชียร์กันอยู่ครับก็ไม่ต้องเป็นห่วงนะครับ
Oh, still alive. AVAC still heating up. Nope, didn't die.
Nice.
Để cho tụi mình bắn ý và xem thường đối thủ.
Team Falcons will be eliminated. Ray on healing gameplay. No.
Mình hy vọng các bạn khán giả sẽ cổ vũ cho các đội tuyển của Việt Nam ạ.
Circle it. Circle, you let me circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. Let me circle it. I'm like circle. When I'm hanging with my friends, I can circle it. I can find anything if I circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it. Can you circle it? Cause I can circle it. See something that you like, you can draw around it.
It's round number 5 here, and we are on Next Terra for our next map before we head on over to our random map of the day. But truly, AJ, I don't know if we're going to get a better ending on this map compared to the last one, because the last one, super chaotic, very unconventional. I think we're going to be going back to some normal Free Fire, unfortunately. But we have seen a mix of teams getting booyahs today, because originally I think a lot of teams, and maybe Buriram themselves, thinking that they were going to get the majority of them, but that hasn't really been the case so far. They had 2 booyahs, but we have had 2 other teams pick up booyahs today. First one of the day was for Buriram, followed by WAG, our 3rd Alpine booyah for Buriram, and then finally Bigatron, probably securing the craziest booyah of the day and possibly the century as well with that final ending. But Next Terra, we have a couple of top dogs here for Next Terra. AJ, do we kind of want to shout out who are the teams to look out for Next Terra?
Well, for Next Terra, you most definitely can bet on WAG. 4 booyahs so far on this map. You know for a fact they're going to want to prove themselves yet again out there. And of course, thus far, they've already got 1 under their belt. So it's high time they jump in once again. And you can see that on your screen right now. AG Global as well as Buriram do really well on this map. AG Global has 2 of those booyahs and Buriram with a single 1 on their side. So WAG has been truly impressive. I expect them to continue impressing.
Continue to impress, unless someone comes in and ruins the party, possibly. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll have to see if anyone has the confidence to do that, though, because considering how consistent WAG have been on this map, and also today, I think we have to point out the fact that I think WAG, okay, sure, they didn't have a spectacular day today. They've had a couple of ups and downs, but overall, the team has been pretty consistent today when it has come to picking up points and even engagements. I feel like it's such a coin flip when you run into WAG, because it's either they take you out or they will be the ones to force you back. It's not a team that cowers and plays reactively. I love the fact that they still, even though someone is trying to force the fight onto them, they turn things around and suddenly you're their prey.
Caramel is going to be subbed out for AG Global, and they bring in a rusher, which means they're now going to have a triple rusher with a single sniper backup setup here. So AG Global just trying to switch up just a little bit of the pacing out there. As for Heavy, on the other hand, we've got Hans being subbed out, and we welcome Cubby to the line. And obviously, we've seen Cubby in action quite a number of times already. The importance here is for Team Heavy, all of their players are pretty equal in terms of firepower out there. Obviously, Hans a little bit better. He currently leads with the 59 eliminations, but Cubby's not too bad with the 48.
Yeah, and actually there's one more sub, AJ. I kind of want you to look at the numbers here. So PE Esports going in for a sub. So Nero is out and they're going to bring Arn in. So are we going to be seeing any potential play changes for PE Esports in this round?
Yeah, most definitely, right? Because Nero is one of your, most stable players out there. Don't cry in LBT. They can still bring in those eliminations. I don't think Ban is going to be a burden overall. They're just trying to give the guy a little bit of time out there on the battlefield as well, so that when they do need him in a pinch, he will be ready for battle. So this is just PE Esports trying to make sure all of their players have got their fingers warmed up, but they're also trying to try different strategies out there, because as we've witnessed today, it hasn't been a great day for PE. 22 points over the past 4 games. They are struggling quite a little bit.
I don't think this is a little struggle. This is a big struggle for this team, especially with the goal that we've also set for PE Sports. Yeah. Because as close as they are to that top 12 spot, it's not as close as they'd like it to be. And so I think the PE Sports, they have to pop off in these last 2 games, I think, if they're going to try and salvage the day. Either pop off, or you grab just enough points to put you within like that safety zone. And I guess the question we kind of have here, right, is how many points would PE Esports have to finish at the end of today to be happy with their placements?
That's a tough one. I think they need a minimum of 60, but looking at the fact that they are currently on 20 points, expecting them to get 20 on each of the next 2 games might be a little bit too much to ask from them, because they score an average of 5 points at this point of time. So maybe 30. 30 is decent enough. I think we're going to set the bar pretty low for PE Esports. If they're going to do better than 30, I think they still have a strong chance.
Yeah, let's say in comparison to Onyx, right? Because Onyx is their closest team to sort of chase. Well, maybe God or Wolf actually, because they're not really playing today.
Yeah.
What's the point difference between PE Sports and Onyx? Just to sort of set an example, since these teams are playing together.
PE Sports and Onyx, you're looking at 63 points, but PE Sports to replace GOW, they need about 43. So
43.
Yeah, it's a tough one either way. I mean, they're definitely not going to catch up to Onyx, but at least GOW, they need to aim for that. But we are asking for 20-pointer games, both on Nextera as well as the random map, from a team that has been just down in the dumps for some reason.
Yeah, really just flat today.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see if that comeback can happen, because it is possible. I mean, looking at the statistics for PE Sports in the past, like they are capable of pulling off 110 points, 130 points in a play week. It's just, with this first play day, I don't even know if they're going to be able to break 100 points for this week. And that's actually pretty bad for PE Sports. I think that would be one of their worst performing weeks.
Yeah, PE Sports, the maps where they usually do excel at, Alpine and Kalahari, neither one is being played right now. We are on Nextera, their second worst map. They've got an average of 8.6 points on this map, and that's an average, right? Because there have been some points where they've barely taken anything away from Nextera. So I'm a little worried for the squad, but if they can stick to the meta, if they have figured out something new with the new pacing, because PE Sports, they used to love playing a very slow game pace, and then the meta forced them to play aggressive. They had to adapt to that sort of a pacing. But now we are back to the good old days where they can play at what they're comfortable with. But I guess they are too used to the new one that they just can't change things up again. It's just thrown into shambles for the squad.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a couple of weeks to adjust, and if it's in the middle of a tournament, you don't have that time to comfortably be able to adjust to a new strat.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if that recovery can happen. And maybe PE Sports, they pull out 2 miracle games. We'll have to see, because we don't even know what that random map is going to be as well. They're clearly praying it's going to be something that they're comfortable on, but first, we'll see how they do on Nextera. And this is not just PE Sports, but our top competing teams as well. Who's going to grab the booyah here, because we are basically reaching almost the end here for our league stage for teams to secure their top 12 placing. Now, it looks like our flight path has already been determined and teams are already flying out to where they want to be. Do we have any hot drops? So far, it's looking pretty clean, although attack all round, are they thinking about jumping onto heavy here? They're flying over to Rusttown. Oh, they're neighbors.
Cheeky.
They're pretty close. They're probably thinking about it. Maybe if they get the right loot, then they'll be like, all right, let's go.
Way too cheeky for attack all around. But of course, they can play their chances. They are not at risk of losing their position on top 12. Heavy, on the other hand, they better watch out. They cannot afford this. Heavy is tethering on the edge. They are 13 points behind GOW. They need to get into that final circle this time around. They cannot afford an early engagement against anyone here. So big decision times for the boys on the side of Heavy.
Oh, I mean, Heavy's looting together. They've got a pair over there. I'm just a little bit scared, because I'm scared this team sort of gets ahead of themselves and tries to engage into attack all round. Probably not the best team to run into, but they don't know that, unfortunately. But it looks like, I guess, these two teams are going to leave each other alone. Okay, so Heavy's still going to play this game. Just loot. We'll see what happens with this team a little bit later on, because it looks like in the meantime, for the early game, we're not seeing any action across the map. No gunshots, no knocks. It's going to be a very quiet one, it looks like.
Heavy's very lucky because it was attack all around, and attack all around is not confident on this map of Nextera. They are usually mid-dwellers when it comes to this map, so, attack all around does not want to take that risk. But now Heavy approaches a team that's very comfortable on Nextera. That's Twisted Minds. This should not be an engagement.
They've been scanned.
And then the man gets scanned out by the R1. 3 players have been detected, and Twisted Minds wasting no time. Led by Diamond. They want some blood.
How are they going to try and approach this? Because there are quite a number of buildings within the vicinity. Twisted are pretty spread out as well. So if they try and go for this now, it could get a little messy. Heavy. Yep, they're going to actually reveal. Oh my gosh. First shot onto Artemis. Diamond, you monster.
I mean, just too accurate, too good. The sprays, too perfect. Avitan says, I got you, bro. Brings him right back. AC-80 in the hands of Kabi. Can't do much. As Exposi and his Woodpecker puts an extra hole through the helmet. Beautiful headshot. Avitan says, no problem. I got you, bro. One more revive.
This is so scary because they're just cutting through heavy like butter. It's almost like that first bullet
here comes
every
the Knights.
time.
The Knights are here to save Heavy.
Are they here to save them? They're kind of thinking about it. Maybe not going to be too soon enough because I think Heavy's about to lose almost the entire roster. Tan's been caught. I do believe there is a couple players still alive on the side of Heavy. So they're not out, but here comes Star Knights. A little bit too late to this Princess's Tower, but it could still be something as we're going to be seeing another team coming in. Bigatron! Okay, this could be a really fun doozy.
Yeah, this is going to be fun for sure. Star Knights arrive just in time for Bigatron to arrive as well. Now we've got a three-way standoff. Twisted Minds, fresh off a battle. They get to loot up their opponent's loot boxes. But the question is, have they wasted too many utilities picking up those points? Because their opponents just started looting. You don't see a lot of items on the battlefield early on. You need to make that work put in there. But Onyx Olympus meeting PE Sports and Kibase down on the ground. Ban trying to take advantage, going in for the finish, and they are able to secure Gary in a 1v2. LBT meets him in a couple of shots, but the Trogon doesn't get the job done. They respond to Jack. Don't cry, takes the backstab. Jack responds and will not be able to put him down. LBT putting them one up.
Oh, LBT, they're being caught out by Garu. Really great flank, but Gary has been caught on the side of Hong An. So still a bit of a trade happening between these two teams. Hong An trying to recover for the team. Ban has been caught though, so now it's going to be down to a 2 versus 1 situation. It's Jack and Kibos versus Hong An. Oh boy. They do get the buybacks though. Gary going to be brought back there on the side of Onyx. They will finish off that final player. And yeah, they're going to be bringing all their players back in here, which is pretty surprising. Barn though, surprised this man has not been shot down. That Jack just not accurate enough, it seems. And they're slowly bringing their players back. I have to say, this is such a risky play for PE Sports because you're bringing back players that have nothing.
Absolutely nothing but PE Sports. I mean, like, what do they have to lose, right? They're already in a bad place. So if they go big, they might just be able to win a sweet deal here. Don't cry, Jack from afar. Jack flanked from that right-hand side, but Ban just not able to get the job done. LBT out in the open. Can he take advantage? Answer still no. Doesn't have enough loot on him. The Thompson in hand. An off-screen attack all around being shut down. Bigatron meeting Star Knights.
Oh boy, Bigatron, this is a team that just came off of a fresh win. Trying to go for another one here, it seems, onto Star Knights. So far, it's been an equal trade. Leem on the ground there. Neem's currently hiding for the team. Bigatron still sitting on 3 players healthy at the moment. Really controlling this compound so well. Beautiful window play coming out from Dix. Oh my lord, Bigatron playing off the adrenaline from that previous game on Kalahari. Still looking for more so far, Kong and Dix. Dix has been caught though. Twisted Minds coming into play and ruining this party for Bigatron.
Yeah, the 3-team standoff finally comes to an end as Twisted Minds pokes its nose in, wipes away those numbers off the battlefield, and now on pursuit of both Bigatron as well as Star Knights. Potentially, Bigatron will fall here. Kyung, as he gotten away, but Diamond cutting off his trajectory, pulls out the Groza. Can't find an angle to work on him just yet.
Oh, Heavy, you don't want to go out like this. Leave, Heavy, don't do it. You're poking the hornet's nest. Oh, this is Buriram. This is not a team you want to be playing with at all. So Heavy, I hope they find a way out of this because this would be horrible for them. They can't afford to lose points. They can't afford to drop down to Buriram. And they're so desperately trying to find something. And thankfully, they do find a different angle. So they can dodge Buriram for now. But hopefully, if they could, dodge them forever. That's the dream.
Great repositioning. Tanking the blue.
Very lucky no one's here too. I think if they ran into another team here, it would have been curtains for Heavy.
A smart play here for Heavy. And looks like Buriram's not going to go in for the hunt as well. And everything comes back down to a little bit of a peaceful state. 11 teams still surviving out there. I mean, this is insane. So much of action, and we still have 11 full squads.
Are we surprised, AJ? We must be pretty
maybe not super
conservative.
full.
It's not Kalahari levels of 4, but I think
Yeah.
for a standard map, this is pretty acceptable with how players and teams are currently approaching the game. So,
Evos
PE
Divine.
Sports. Evos Divine trying to go for a tackle round. This is a pretty scary team start. Knights, though, looks like they have been eliminated. So we're now down to our top 10 teams here as Evos looking for blood. But you know what they have possibly done? They have attracted Twisted Minds instead. AG, though, running into Onyx. Gardu's trying to get out of there. He does launch himself out, and he's not going to be clipped. So thankfully, Onyx survived with 2 players. I think at this point, you're just praying AG don't chase, but look at that, though. AG flying in, desperately catching Gardu. And Gari, last player left for the team, heavily injured, down to 1 more health kit before he can actually try and go for another run. But look at this, though. Twisted Minds being caught out because look who they found. They found Buriram.
Yeah, Buriram wants those points, and Nameless almost clip Exposé! Says hello to Jonah, but the Uzi! Oh my god, Jonah turns down 180 and drops Exposé. What a play by the captain, leading the fray with 3 eliminations, and Buriram right back in it to win it. G'day spotted out. Moshi can't find the angle just yet, waiting for his opponent to make a mistake, but Evos Divine, the next target for Buriram.
The next target. Now, thankfully for Evos, they did get that final elimination onto Twisted Minds. They do manage to pick up an elimination for themselves, but they've got to get out of here. You do not want to be sticking around, especially with Moshi on the rooftop. I think this is the scariest thing for Buriram because they have their scout there trying to get this vision for the team and trying to figure out how do they get around to catching out Evos. And it looks like Moshi may have given them that crucial information that they needed because for Evos, they're not moving, but you can see for Buriram, they are advancing.
Uh-oh. Buriram. They smell a prey.
Whoa,
and Moshi
Ray.
starts it off with Ray. Beautiful stuff. And now the Riptide Rhythm. Moshi goes for another, but misses Aim God's foot. G'day will soak a bullet. Abax pulls in the bait and switch. Wasana finds one with the FGL. These boys doing so much from this roof. And Vamos watching all of this breakdown. They do not want to get involved.
Yeah, do not get involved because you're going to be biting more than you can chew, especially with the 2 Titans that are currently battling this out. But at the moment, Evos not looking too happy for themselves as Buriram pelting them with bullet after bullet as they're just trying so desperately to hide within that compound. And you know what makes it worse? PE Sports and AG Global, they're on the other side. So for Evos, when this circle gets smaller, they're going to have a really tough time trying to move into this next potential circle. On the other side, though, WAG deep in a fight with themselves. They are popping a couple of pot shots here and there, possibly connecting onto Heavy, who is still hiding behind that glue wall, thankfully, but not looking too safe there themselves. They've got to find a way in somehow.
Great rotation by WAG, keeping control
limits down.
of the safe zone. But Evos Divine now doing a #1 attack all around. Jump God outside the circle, tanking the blue just to pick up his friend. Will go ahead to give up. Riptide Rhythm dropping his defenses, and Aim God takes out the final player. Attack all around falls, and Evos Divine still, they are farming those points.
Oh, speaking of farming points, AEG might be farmed themselves. They did have 2 players go down. Stop is gone, but Cypher thankfully was able to be picked up. PE Sports, though, still hiding within that compound. And AG kind of stuck behind this glue wall now will reposition up onto that next floor up. But if they poke their heads up there, they are exposing themselves to Vamos and potentially Buriram, who is on that high ground. So a bit of a tough spot to be in for AG. They can't go in, but they also can't go out.
Yeah, but they don't really need to move. The circle is with them at this point of time. They just need to see exactly how the chips fall right in front of them. Perhaps another team will aggress and take a problem out of the equation for them. PE Sports, they do hold on to the compound. And AG actually making a long rotation away from all of this action.
Wow. Okay. Interesting decision for the team. I'm kind of wondering what they want to do here. Are they trying to go back for a vending machine or something? Like they're just out. Okay.
And they want the clear spot on the right hand side. They are trying to see if they can get a good guess on the circle. And they got it perfectly right, AG Global.
Gosh.
What a great read on this circle. They knew the concentration of players were towards the left, running towards the right-hand side, being one of the few. And the circle just absolutely loves that play from them. PE Sports gifted it as well alongside Vamos. Now, this is an opportunity for WAG to perhaps punish Buriram as they attack them from the back.
it could go either way because these are two Goliath teams on this leaderboard. If WAG can take down Buriram, that's going to be a massive statement today. But so far, Buriram Wasana able to keep himself up in this fight, thankfully. And WAG, are they maybe in trouble themselves? Get high, just get caught in the meantime, though, thanks to Alan. And Buriram, they've lost one of their players so far. Wasana been pinned and has been caught out. Cypher from AG coming in on the other side, going for another battle. AG up to 9 eliminations. Jonah trying to go for a finish off himself, but now he's all on his own. Moshi heavily injured and hiding, trying to heal himself outside that blue zone, but he's going to take critical amounts of damage. I don't know how they go in.
Yeah, critical indeed. Now they do have a launch pad here to work around with.
Oh, this is so
the
risky.
Quick reposition from the side of Buriram could come on through, but they're tanking the blue even further. Buriram, here comes the reposition on top of PE Sport. Oh, no! Showdown overshoots, and AG Global says, welcome, brother. Takes him out.
No.
Mochi now drops behind. Double blue ball. Badu is right there. Sniper versus sniper, and you win that CQC out against Mochi, shutting down Buriram.
Buriram being chased out thanks to WAG. What a scary time to be alive if you are someone going up against WAG. Alan has been caught out though. PE Sports proving to be a little bit more than this team can shoot. Export also going to go down. Cyrus and Krillin all on their own. They can't really make their way in as Vamos is also causing this team quite a bit of issues.
I mean, this is now Krillin's opportunity. He's got 4 grenades to work with. Vamos inside that house. Tossing it at them is all he needs to do. But managing this zone at the same time seems to be a challenge. Krillin going in a 1v3. Krillin, man. And Cyrus gets the backstab. Khaleesi does catch Krillin though.
Oh my
and Cyrus needs to do this all on his own. No grenades on him whatsoever in a 1v2 situation. Krillin picked right back up. Opportunity. And now they're 2-man strong once again.
2-man strong. Can they recover? This will be huge for the team. Vamos, they have a man up, but I don't know if this is going to be enough.
Wow.
Cyrus still looking very healthy. Krillin goes down. It's now down to Cyrus all on his own. And again, Pinsard behind the glue wall, nowhere near Krillin. Krillin is gone, and Cyrus, he's trying to go out that window. Running into the team again. Can he juke and jive? Can he take the damage? No, he can't dodge it at all. WAG, after being able to eliminate Buriram, shut down by Vamos.
Such chaos for WAG, but Vamos handled that chaos well. But now, 4 more teams remain. Who walks away? Heavy desperately needs it, but AG Global says, not you. EVOS Divine needs it, but it looks like AG Global says, not you as well. Vamos desperately needs it, but I don't know what they can do even if they get it.
I mean, you got to get those points still away from everyone else. Now, the thing is, AG, I saw Dew coming in for the monster truck drop. They're going to keep it in their back pocket just in case. Cypher, though, going to be the first one to go in. Dew, though, with the grenades. Going to hope that they're going to manage to connect. They gets it!
That grenade!
Geez,
what a play!
Beautiful. That was such a perfect grenade. It wasn't funny. They corralled them like sheep into that grenade, AJ.
No, I mean, that was so unfortunate because the grenade fell. He walked over the grenade and he put a glue wall right in front of himself so he doesn't get shot, but he trapped himself in there with the grenade. Kaboom, it went. Easy point. My God, what a finish to this map.
Didn't even need the vehicle. I saw Dew brought the monster truck. I was like, guys, I'm going to put this here just in case.
My goodness.
Never needed it. Oh, but Vamos, though, so close to getting a booyah for themselves. It would have been very nice for them just to pick up that little cheeky booyah, but AG just 2 steps ahead. 2 steps ahead.
I mean, and who would have thought Vamos would be in this final circle, fighting AG Global for a booyah? I guess sometimes miracles do happen.
Look, they eliminated WAG as well, right? They were the ones to shut them down. So
they did.
Vamos, really, really great play for this map in particular. So very outstanding. I want to know how many points they got after all of that, though, because they got 2nd place. Did you remember how many eliminations they had before they got eliminated?
If I can rack my brain well on that map, Vamos, they got somewhere below 5. That's a guarantee. Yeah, I don't think they even reached 4. So I would bet maybe 3 or 4. That's not a lot at all.
We'll find out. But I mean, the team's very proud of themselves. I think just knowing that they were able to play toe-to-toe with some of the best teams within the competition So Vamos going to be super proud of themselves. And maybe this is going to help them carry through to that final game. Game number 5. Still don't know what that map is going to be, but I don't think a lot of us expected some of the outcomes of these skirmishes.
No, I mean, it was a shocker for sure. I mean, Buriram getting bagged and then WAG showing up. Vamos wiping the floor with WAG, but it was not an easy engagement for them. I mean, we saw Krillin running around. We saw it was a beautiful, back and forth between WAG as well as Vamos, and Vamos were outnumbered, right? So amazing stuff. But of course, we want to know from the winners exactly what they have to say. AG Global, let's hear from them.
Hey Sky, and now we are with the representative from AD. And who are you? Who are you?
เราเป็นใครคะแนะนำตัวเองหน่อย
Viper ครับ
ดังนี้
Viper ครับ
And this is Viper, the new member from AD. Yay! Keep it up for Viper. He is very, very new guy, new league, because this is the first time he attend the pro league as a pro player. How was it?
เป็นไงบ้างคะพอได้เข้ามาเล่นในลีกที่มีแบบโปรด้วยกันฝากหน่อย
รู้สึกเฉยๆครับพี่แต่ยังปรับตัวไม่ค่อยได้ครับ
I feel so I still need time to adapt myself to the new environment.
Didn't you feel like so exciting? A little bit exciting?
รู้สึกแบบตื่นเต้นไหมคะมีความ
ไม่เลยเหรอ
Not at all.
Why?
ทำไมคะ
Mostly people will feel like so exciting or nervous or pressure, something like that.
ก็ปกติแล้วเวลาที่คนเข้ามาเล่นนะก็จะแบบตื่นเต้นกดดันแบบเข้ามาเล่นลีกใหญ่ครั้งแรกทำไมเราถึงแบบไม่รู้สึกอะไรเลยเฉย
โดนมาแล้วครับโดนมาแล้วจากการซ้อมพี่
Because I already get used to it by practicing in the place like this.
Because your coach prepare everything for you.
ก็คือโค้ชช่วยแบบเทรนมาให้
What did he do? Can you give us an example?
โค้ชเทรนเรามายังไงคะขอตัวอย่างหน่อย
แบบเขาเตรียมตัวเรามายังไงเขาทำยังไงทำไมเราถึงแบบไม่ตื่นเต้นเลยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยสักหนึ่งอย่างได้ไหมแบบเขาเอาเราลงไปอัดกับแบบห้องซ้อมเยอะๆจนเราแบบชินหรือว่าอะไรยังไงFor this is his first time for the interview, so maybe a little bit exciting. So let's ask something that he can answer easily. So ชอบใช้ตัวละครไหนมากที่สุด What is the most favorite character that you like to use
ชอบใช้ตัวละครไหนมากที่สุด
ทัศยาครับ
ทัศยา Okay and which gun and which combo
ใช้ปืนอะไรคะเล่นคอมโบยังไง
โพกอนครับ
คอมโบกับทัศยามีตัวอื่นไหมแบบสกิล
แอนดูครับ
Okay, so it's Tatsuya and Andrew with Token.
It's so good. And this is some 3 foreign new pro player of the league. Please cheer him up. He needs so much cheer up right now. So let's see. Will we see him again in the next game? Okay. And now back to you, Shoutcaster.
I mean,
a man of few words.
he's a shy one. He's a shy one. It's his first time, I mean, he's nervous as hell. He's got Yuki asking him all of these questions. He does not know the answer. He's like, this is even harder than the game.
Well, okay, to be fair, I think most gamers don't anticipate being interviewed. And I totally relate to it. I've been in that position before where I originally was just playing games. Someone starts asking me questions and you just blank. It's okay. It's all good. Because what we're not going to pull a blank on is the fact that we have game number 6. Okay. Is this you saying that Next Terra is going to be our next map?
No. He's just saying they are the king of Next Terra because they just got a booyah on Next Terra.
I know, but
9 eliminations.
Could also be Next Terra. Dun dun dun.
Dun indeed. But this guy, 6,000 plus, close to 7,000 damage? My goodness. What an MVP. This is massive. I mean, yes, he got high numbers of eliminations, but also high on that damage. He was doing a lot of work out there.
Love this one. Run, run, run. Super simple. The plane's just laughing too. That'd be too much fun. Oh, I just realized, look at how many cards they have. They have so many options of ways to be honest. Where's ours?
Really?
Where's ours? Well, why don't we not get these cards? I wanna
What's
have
wrong
some
with you,
fun.
Danny? You've got the microphone.
Just because I get the microphone doesn't
You
mean
get
you
to
don't
talk.
get cards.
You get to talk the whole time for the
You be
4.5
careful.
hours. You get to talk.
Just be careful.
Okay,
Next
3.
broadcast, I'm bringing memes, okay? I'm bringing memes.
I mean, look at these guys.
Look, I
AG
think
Global just flexing. I mean, it was such a massive game for them, all right?
it was, yeah.
31 points, I think they managed to hit on this match. 19 eliminations, 12 from the Booyah, 31. That's the record for the day. We've been seeing some soft, victories from some of the teams. The big one that we did saw was from Buriram, but even they hit 29. So this is the record for the day. And fingers crossed, we have a team exceed that for the random map.
Well, I think the question everyone's sort of wondering now is what is that final random map going to be? Because we also need to consider the matchups that are going to be happening on that final map. What teams are going to have a innate advantage and what teams are going to have that disadvantage? Because again, we've got to talk about the teams that are at the bottom of the bracket. Because at the moment, we're not seeing any major changes down there. Like everyone's basically earning the points that they should. So if we look at the teams at the bottom, what maps do these teams want? And I'm specifically talking about Heavy and PE Esports because these are the two closest teams to breaking top 12. What are these two teams' best maps?
That's a great question, right? If you look at Heavy, you're talking about Bermuda. PE Sports, they love their Alpine. So it's just one of these two. If we actually get it, Heavy PE, they could smile. But let's let AG Global smile a little bit more. Once again, 31 points, 19 eliminations. Solid game from them. The closest one, EVOS Divine, 17 points in total. And WAG still keeping up the pressure. But this is the shocker. This is what we've been wanting. PE Sports finally catching up to the rest of the teams. 13 points, not too bad.
I mean, we're also going to give a bit of a shout out to Vamos as well, right? Even though this team is maybe a little bit too low to be able to break into top 12, I think having a good performance, I still think this team needs this, especially after the tournament's done and dusted. They need that morale boost to move forward because something that I kind of fear for some teams is that when they get crushed in tournaments, they immediately implode, as in everyone just changes teams and they try to go for a fresh restart. And personally, I don't believe that is the best way to move forward as a team if you're playing in a competitive scene. I feel like sometimes you need to commit to your team before you make the decision to go for the disband, because disbanding, it seems like a good plan on paper because, okay, we did terribly this season, let's just find some new players and hope we do better. But sometimes you're with a good team, you just haven't found your rhythm and you need time to develop that rhythm, and you're not giving your team time if you just decide to leave.
Well, let's see if or not the selector can bless
one
of these teams. Neither one of the two. They're actually going to go to Kalahari. PE Sports is not too bad on Kalahari, so I guess they can smile a little bit. But, if we're talking about Heavy, this is their worst map. They really do not perform well here at all. And they are the ones that need it. They are in Group C. This is their last day of play for this week. So, I mean, unfortunate for Heavy, they are going to be challenged quite a bit in this final one.
I'm going to bring something else up, I suppose, and that is Onyx Olympus. Does Onyx Olympus generally score more points on Kalahari than PE Sports?
I mean, that's a good question, right? And yes, they most definitely do, because it's their best map. Kalahari is the number one map for Onyx Olympus. But their average total on this map isn't so fancy. It's 11.5, so it's average, and that average is all they need to be in the top 12.
Yeah, so then for these teams that are really working for these points, I think the goal would be, do you try to remove Onyx from their best map? I kind of feel like you're reaching that point of no return where if you don't start doing these surprise hot drops or something, especially if you're trying to chase these teams that are ahead of you, you've got to do something that's going to surprise them. And let's be realistic, right? Heavy and PE Sports, these are not teams that generally hot drop. So if it suddenly happens here, it would absolutely catch Onyx Olympus off guard.
4K subbed in for Cougar, and I believe Stop was subbed in earlier as well for Caramel. So both the teams having a couple of changes here, and this does definitely change the dynamics quite a little bit. Caramel being the bomber, stop the rusher. So you're kind of bringing in a little bit more firepower to be able to deal with the elevation Kalahari brings into this mess.
I love how you called it mess, because I do think that's a great way to describe Kalahari.
I mean, you saw the mess previously, right? And AG Global, they need something different. They haven't scored a single booyah on Kalahari thus far, but they've actually been able to keep up their momentum. They're the third best team when you compare the performance of Group C as well as A.
Yeah.
Buriram and Twisted Minds doing slightly better than them. So this is pretty surprising. AG Global being able to farm those points without a single booyah. So perhaps now is the time.
If AG Global top it with the booyah, I think that's when you just say, like, this team is perfect. But we'll have to see if that previous win is going to help keep AG Global in the game, right? They are they had that little victory moment. Their mental is probably very good now, especially going into this last game. Maybe we start to see this team pop off, because I do recall last week when we saw AG absolutely pop off after that first booyah, the team started hunting. They started looking for blood. They started looking for people to get rid of. So maybe we start to see AG be like, okay, we've had that booyah moment. Let's try and go on the offense. I'd love to see that happen, but if they decide to play defensive, I don't blame them either, because if you get eliminated now, it's kind of a sad moment for the team.
I mean, AG Global, they are your number one performing team for the day. 95 points in total, overtaking Buriram, pushing them to the second spot. And once again, they only have a single booyah from the day. Buriram actually has two, so it's very impressive. With their consistent placements as well as eliminations they've been picking up. They've got the most number of eliminations, even compared to Buriram. 5 exceeding Buriram. Very, very impressive stats. Very quiet from AG Global, as always. But WAG not staying quiet. Shutting down Nameless early, and Alan finding Exposy as well.
Dang! WAG already off to a hot start and already forcing the first buybacks here for Twisted Minds. So going to cost them a little bit, but thankfully we obviously are going to get those very early buybacks here, so it kind of means nothing unless the team gets fully eliminated. Now PE Sports, this is not the time for this team to be eliminated. They need these points, and to do this I think they have to get rid of Bigatron, because Bigatron, they got the booyah on this map today, and again, Indonesian team, they generally do really well on this map, and Hong An being cut down by Kyung. This is not how you want things to start. Two eliminations for Bigatron.
Yep, and it's gonna be 4 in a little bit. There's one final fight from Ban as he tries to stay alive.
No.
Heavy from the opposite side. Ban just managed to drive away, being distracted. And it looks like Heavy helps PE Sports survive a little bit longer. Lucky PE Sports is.
Oh, being helped by their big brothers there. Otherwise, they would have been eliminated and basically out of the running for points. We literally just spoke about PE Sports right before this match began. This team needs points, and you're not going to get points if you get eliminated first. And Bigatron looks like they found a vehicle. Kyung's going to put himself out in the open, exposing himself to G'day and Ray. They have been scouted, but no commitment here as EVOS are spread pretty far apart. So a bit of a looting game for this team. Going for something a little bit more passive, more macro-oriented, rather than looking for those kills.
Smart play from EVOS. Staying silent. Not really picking a fight early game. Understanding that the loot is the more important factor here. Especially if you want to make sure you end up in the top 3 by the end of the day. EVOS Divine currently the 5th best team in performance. 56 points picked up. And if they get to beat Twisted Minds, they get to overtake them. And WAG trying to perhaps help them out. And Saming will be able to fight back. But lucky he has Diamond to back him up. Xbor instantly brings Krillin back. Here comes the RGS 15. Double on the nade. Finds nothing.
Oh boy, look at this. Bit of a retaliation play coming up from Twisted Minds. Are they going to be able to catch Alan with this? Alan so far doing really well with the jukes. And look at this, Cyrus up on the high ground trying to go for the assassination play himself. Oh, Sming gets brought back, taken out beforehand, and WAG again relentlessly chasing Twisted Minds.
Yeah, this is a fantastic play from WAG. Twisted Minds, Nameless, able to back away for just a little bit, and a sliver of health left, and X-Ball with heavy to be close quarters combat. And look at WAG, 6 points picked up already, ravaging the battlefield, and Twisted Minds just stood no chance against the aggression.
Basically reset to 0 at this point. Folky and Jump God down on the side of attack all round, trying to go for the jukes here. Poon God, can he go for the reset? He does manage to catch him though. He gets Artemis as well! Heavy! 2
Oh
heavy
my.
in this fight, it looks like. An attack all around. Almost done, but they are scared of that last player on the side of heavy who might be able to take him out. It's Tan. He's too far away though, and Limit able to zone him away. Attack all round. Big victors in this, and actually Tan going to be going in towards Limit.
beauty.
They need to cut him down. They need to snipe him, pop his head. Can they finish him off? The reload animation, stopping Limit from trying to get the finish off. But look at this. Bigatron's coming into the picture as well, and Limit, he's just seen them float. And look at this. Attack all round. Immediate buyback on Falky. And they're going to go for a bit of a reset. They do manage to catch Tom though, so that's going to be a 4 heavy, unfortunately. Young on the side of Bigatron trying to catch out this play. He's going to be able to hide. Attack all round. Poon God is down. Team is gone. I think you have to leave if you're attack all round, but then again, where do you have to go?
Whoa, Limit from afar. The Woodpecker finds the head of Kyong and Bigatron Delta. They thought they found the big one when they walked in a battle between attack all around. But of course, Limit will not be able to walk away from the Drogon. Koja obliterating him 6 eliminations strong. Bigatron off to a fantastic start as well.
Coming in at just the right moment as well, whilst attack all round was mid-combat and down a player as well. So Bigatron hunting for those eliminations, and they are getting rewarded for it. Now Poon God going to be chased by Tan, who is still here for the team. And heavy, thankfully, this team managed to go for the complete buyback, but they are very light on loot. They just don't have the weaponry to get rid of Poon God here.
Every single player from the side of Heavy has been revived, and Artemis will be able to provide that backup. But 3 players had to shoot against that guy just to bring him down. Heavy needs to shape up their capability of finding these cleaner engagements. That was a very close call for the squad.
Oh, Jump God has been caught here by Jack. They just need to finish him off because attack all round, they are constantly buying each other back in, but because they can't find anywhere safe to go for the loots, they're just easy pickings for anyone that's within the vicinity there. So again, another knock for the team. Attack all round. I mean, I'm just looking at this team's counter on the right-hand side, and I'm just seeing constant buybacks from attack all round.
23 revives so far.
Jeez.
And we are just 1 player down from making this a full lobby all over again. So free fire coins for the win, the pocket market for the win. These vending machines, I mean, all of these teams are playing it so safe. You can see teams like Onyx Olympus, they are camping at that vending machine for a good reason. They want that buyback to be as smooth and easy as possible. Even Bigatron at Council Hall, these vending machines are now high value spots. Nems will be able to find one. Artemis! Because Evos Divine on that left hand side of Heavy, and it looks like they're going to be pelted down by 2 squads at the same time.
Oh, Heavy. My goodness. This has just been such a difficult game for this team, as Onyx going to go for the final knock there onto Get Nice. Now up to 2 eliminations. Everywhere Heavy goes, this team is just being picked apart left, right, and center. They just can't find anywhere to go for that reset. And I fear that this team, they don't have much left in the tank before they just run out of gas and just get picked off in those final couple of circles. So, Buriram having a little bit of action here as they catch one of the players from Twisted Minds. Just 1 though. Getting rid of Nameless thanks to Get High. Now up to 2 eliminations. Very quiet game for Buriram, but to be fair, no one's here either. So probably just going to play a little bit slow. And sometimes I worry when Buriram gets a slow start like this, because it means that they are free to just loot and basically macro up onto that late game. And Buriram is scary once you let them get all the armor and all the weapons that they want.
Beautiful shot from Dew from afar. Kabi will get taken out of the equation shortly, but Vithan's on standby. He's got the coins. It's just waiting for him to get taken out. 45 players, soon to be 46 once again. The AG Global has got this high ground to play around with, and they're looking at the potential of rotating it into Refinery a little bit closer towards the center. They will have to go up against Star Knights if they want that spot, though.
Yeah, Star Knights gonna hold on to that. Refinery is just a favorite place for the Indonesian teams. They always see them up there, but it is part of their meta. As Koja on the side of Bigatron going to be caught out there thanks to Don't Cry. Now down to 3 players. Bigatron, Nems hanging on to a grenade. Don't Cry advancing, but it's just him. The team is still sitting pretty far back as Koja does get brought back again. So back up to 46 players. PE Sports really need to get these eliminations if they can, but instead they're just going to try and go make the runaway. And we do have the brought back player on the side of Bigatron. They're okay. okay, AJ. Oh, but they're about to run into bombs.
No. Onyx shoots at EVOS instead. What luck this team has, PE Sports. And now the Indonesians taking on each other, and Onyx Olympus looking like they are the better ones in this engagement. EVOS Divine did not expect Onyx to come visiting out of nowhere, and PE Sports to smoothly avoid this disaster.
Oh, but AimGod did get rid of Jack though, so Onyx down to 2 players, and you know, EVOS, they're going to continue on fighting if they can. Kabe's trying to go for the Duke. He's managed to buy a little bit more time, but he just needs to land that critical shot. But the glue walls are now making things a little bit more difficult. It is buying him a little bit more time here for AimGod. Trying to Duke and drive. He just needs to land onto that head, but he just can't get that angle. They do manage to catch out Keybase, though, on the side of Bigatron. What is going on?
Yeah, because Bigatron from afar, they've started shooting.
They're flying in!
They're flying in to say hello. This is a 3-way battle, all courtesy of Indonesia. And EVOS Divine is saying, nope, we check out of this hotel. We are getting away from here, Bigatron. You please continue and deal with Onyx Olympus. Here comes the launch pad. They are off and away. ABAX, on the other hand, will have to be dropped. Nems does find him with the grenade. But Bigatron Delta does not seem like they want to give up the chase just yet. Ray's going to be spotted out from afar, and throughout all of this, Onyx Olympus just staying mum right behind them, hoping and praying Bigatron does not go hunting.
It's so funny because we know that these are all the Indonesian teams going up against each other. I kind of wonder if this is just sort of a very popular pathing for these teams, and maybe that's how they sort of find each other all the time, because you always see the Indonesians looking for each other. On Nick, though, I think he's safe. I don't think they're going to check. They're not going to check. He's fine. He's fine.
Come on, use your R1. Come on. Somebody.
No, they're not going to waste it.
What's the time wasted? WAG, on the other hand, finding AG Global. Krillin has got that grenade launcher in hand. Dew, on the other hand, has found that AWMX ball with MA2B. Finding the connection onto Cypher, but backed up by his brother from afar. And Dew, I tell you, what a shot by this man.
Dix, man, this man is on fire. Xborg needs support. His team's coming in. Alan is there, but I'm a little bit scared. This is going to be too risky. They will go for the pickup, but there's Caramel. Caramel comes in. Xborg and Alan are down. WEG, I know that was a play that they wanted to make happen, but I kind of feel like you should have let Xborg go, because now you're down 2 players. It's down to Krillin and Cyrus. I don't know how this man is going to be able to help this team recover, but maybe if they can play some really tricky dancing moves, maybe they can somehow recover. I don't know, I have so many questions here.
Grenade launcher still in their hands, and Cyrus turns the game around. Krillin from the back will take Cypher out of the equation, and all of a sudden AG Global ain't that scary. WAG dealing with this momentum that they have built up for themselves, but Twisted Minds have dropped by to say hello as well. This is terrible, but WAG has got that double revival on them.
Here?
The rest of the team members are potentially dropping right above them. This is going to be very risky.
Oh, someone's got to move. If anyone has a jump pad, it's time to use that now, because you want to get out of this party if possible. Krillin managing to get... Oh, but Viper catching at Krillin on the side of WAG. They still have Xborg and Alan coming in. They've just come back. These players are fresh. They have nothing on them. Trying to go after Diamond. Nameless trying to finish him off as well. They do find Alan thanks to Exposy.
Oh my.
And that's going to be it. WAG 12th place. Not where they want to be.
Not at all. Just getting caught between 2 very powerful squads, and Twisted Minds just taking their time in terms of visiting them, and finally with the perfect execution. Vamos, on the other hand, not be able to say that by the time Buriram is done with them. Or can they pull off a miracle play here? Kathizi with the max 7, waiting for the opportunity, but Buriram just camping up top.
Camping up top, ready to go down whenever they want to. I mean, we've seen Vamos be able to eliminate a couple of giants themselves, but with the way that Buriram is playing, I love the fact that they're just staying on that rooftop, not exposing themselves, and just using this high ground vision to basically snipe anyone that really shows themselves in that open ground. So for Buriram, they're going to try and go for this one here onto Tan. Oh boy, that's going to be it for him.
Oh my.
I mean, this is the advantage of playing on that rooftop. You can see players as they fly on in.
Yeah, but Twisted Minds is sick with those shots as well. Look at this, man. Buriram with the marksman sniper set up, everyone capable of that long-range engagement, and they don't even have to get into the thick of the action. They can still be a part of it. Evos Divine holding on to the very edge of this next zone. This next circle is going to determine the fate of a couple of squads out there. 9 more teams still surviving. What in the world?
Buys MKS, going to be able to drop Moshi. Thankfully, the team is there, and they do manage to pick him up, so he's going to have to try and recover real quick. Otherwise, he could be one-tap yet again. Now, the circle is just beyond the compound there of Buriram. Are not going to be eliminated there, as we do see Stars going up against Twisted Minds, but it looks like that's going to be it for Stars, just being popped by Exposy. Now, these teams, they are still outside that circle. They've got to start moving in, but Buriram looking to finish off Farmos if they possibly can. Fasana going to be on that low ground. Can he catch them out and finish them off? In the meantime, though, there's too many glue balls. It makes it pretty difficult, but they are slowly whittling them down one by one. The esports eliminated in 7th place. Twisted Minds, they're going to be sticking their nose into Buriram's business, and this could cause them a lot of issues. Moshi having to go around the outside. That circle was moving in. The blue zone doing quite a significant amount of damage for teams still within that compound. They've got to start moving in, but Buriram looking really injured.
Yeah, Bigatron Delta now with the best position. They get to keep the players on the side of Buriram. But Wasana, the first one down. The grenade launcher will not be what brings down Bigatron Delta. They have to depend on the gunfights. Kyung backs away. Diggs is there to focus on Get High, but Get High pelted by Twisted Minds from the back as well. And he was Divine just watching all of this breakdown.
So many grenades coming in from Twisted Minds, and Bigatron Kyung is there. Coach is going to hide behind this little cliff face, but they're working with very little. Kyung, he knows he's going to be caught out. He has to go down here for the team. Koja gone down to Evos and Twisted Minds. It's going to be a 4v4 full roster lineup. The health bars are starting to move down here, and Evos, they are spread apart. Twisted Minds, all it takes is one well-placed grenade to potentially take them out of the game.
Yeah, the potential to win here on the side of Twisted Minds. Oh, you look at that, man. The numbers keep flipping. 49 to 51, 51 to 49. Who's going to win it? Even the AI does not understand. Ray down, bleeding up on top. Aim God trying to find one. Exposy drop. And Evos Divine, they gather up once again. It's a 3v3.
Oh, Diamond going to be coming in from the back. Aim God, he's going to have to try and stop them. He's going to go into the high ground. Maybe cover Aim God! And that might just be it. 2 versus 3. Evos looking pretty good. It's Nameless and Diamond. If they can somehow tag team this, it'll be fantastic. United is down. Nameless is gone. Diamond is alone. Can he 1v1 this? He can't. Oh my gosh. What an end to the day, AJ.
Evos Divine with their very, very first opportunity to secure the booyah here on Kalahari, and they do not disappoint. What a play from the squad. And they were looking for this opportunity, this map, this game to launch themselves into the top 3. Unfortunate for them. We still had teams like Twisted Minds, WAG, Buriram surviving so late into the game to challenge them. But a great finisher for Indonesia.
Indonesia on the classic Indonesian map. Kalahari, it's so Indonesian favored, it's not funny. Oh my gosh, but what a way to end the day. And that's basically it for teams in Group C, right? They have done all of their games, and essentially their fates are now going to be left in the hands of our remaining 2 groups in tomorrow's matches. And if anyone regrets the number of points that they got today, they're praying. They're praying at this point that they're going to stay where they are.
Absolutely. And of course, there is a opportunity here for sometimes, you know, teams like Twisted Minds to just pull off a absolute day of reckoning on the opponents. But today was just not that day. This game was surely not that game. Evos Divine, they have been denied those opportunities time and time again. And this time they just did not disappoint, right? They were so sharp, especially taking down the sniper from that high ground. That was the deal breaker that stopped Twisted Minds dead in their tracks.
You know, I've kind of noticed this today, that teams that are able to get rid of the snipers, the scouts for the team, it really hinders teams that really rely on that high ground vision. And I think, you know, one of the other teams we can sort of talk about here is Buriram. Every time Moshi gets taken out of these team fights early, it's almost like Buriram are flying blind at times. And you can see when they are flying blind, they can get caught out because they don't have access to that vision anymore. So I think teams are starting to pick up on this and realize not just Moshi, but just the role of these team snipers and scouts having access to that vision. It is too important to leave the snipers to do what they're doing for free.
And Bigatron Delta stopping Buriram from getting into that circle safe and sound, and Twisted Minds is showing up at the very right time to make sure Buriram has nowhere else to run. You know, that was a dead end for Buriram. But the surprising strategy play here, once again, the Indonesians, they love to stay away from the heat and then jump in there for the great finisher. Executed so perfectly, just like what RRQ usually does. But of course, we want to hear what EVOS Divine has to say about their victory. I wonder what sort of questions Baby Lee has for us this time round, Danny.
Good questions. Let's see.
Well, we'll see exactly what she has. Let's throw it over to Baby Lee.
And now.
Congratulations, EVOS Divine! Make some noise! And everyone, I'm Baby Lee, and I want to chit chat first with one of the player from EVOS Divine. And of course, hi Abang.
Hai.
Alright, you almost booyah in the purgatory. What's your difficulty to get it?
Kalian kan hampir buyah ya di map Purgatory. Sebenarnya apa sih kesulitannya buat dapetin buyah pada saat itu?
Ya kurang kompak aja, kurang satu suara.
He said that I think it was because of the teamwork, we didn't really work together, so that's why we didn't get the booyah.
Oh, but I'm so wondering, what makes you so strong in the Kalahari?
Tapi kita tuh penasaran apa sih membuat kalian sangat kuat dan tangguh di Kalahari tadi?
Karena ada jagoan gue, bocil, udah pakai AC. Udah sakit banget dia tuh kalau nge-cover teman-temannya.
He said because that was his go-to player. That's why we could get the booyah, and he used the go-to weapon as well.
All right. So, what's today's evaluation look like?
Kira-kira gimana sih bentuk evaluasi dari hari ini?
Kurang kompak aja sih, nggak ngikutin satu suara gitu loh. Masih banyak yang suara-suara yang nggak perlu sebenarnya diomongin.
The evaluation will come back again to the teamwork and also the discipline.
Okay, last question. You guys can beat them Twisted Mind in the final fight. What do you wanna say to them?
Kalian kan bisa ngalahin Twisted Mind di last minute tadi. Apa yang mau kalian sampaikan ke Twisted Mind?
Makasih ya, thank you very much bro. Udah kasih kita booyah.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. And this is the last game. Maybe our caster has important things to say. This is the last interview. So thank you so much, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
That cool, man. That's brave. That is brave.
I mean, he's just being honest. He's just being, gracious, and he's got gratitude in his heart. Thank you, Twisted Minds, for giving us the booyah. I mean, they most definitely earned it though.
They earned it, but they're probably also making some enemies going into that grand final.
Not as big as enemies Bigatron Delta has made for themselves, all right?
Look, if I was the coach, I'd be taking notes of all these teams saying stuff about it. It's like, okay, this team has said something about it. Okay, guys, we're going to do some hot drops at this. All right, let's go. Jeez, but I love the fact that the players, they have fun with these interviews as well. Like, I know some teams, they tend to get a little bit more serious with their answers, but I love hearing just some of the taunting, because I kind of wonder, like, other players also maybe playing mind games. Are they maybe, in this case, maybe they want Twisted Minds to fight?
It would help, right, if those mind games actually worked, if the other players are actually tuning in, listening, and actually even paying heed to what the opponents are even saying. At this point of time, I don't think it's going to affect them so much. But when they are in the same location, when we are all in Jakarta, the trash talk on the stage, oh, that's going to hurt. That most definitely will hurt. But of course, the MVP for this time round for EVOS Divine, it's the one and only Ray. 6 eliminations, 4,208 damage in total. The weapon of destruction, that AC-80 that has made a phenomenal comeback.
Yes, and I guess we just want to sort of point out too that EVOS, they had a great day yesterday, and for today, how many points in total did EVOS score?
You will be 83 points. 2 points below Twisted Minds.
Wow. And yesterday they scored 89 points, I believe. So
Solid stuff.
roughly the same points. Yeah, very, very solid play for EVOS. So they didn't really falter after yesterday, right? Yesterday, great day. Today, I'd say that's an equally great day. Kind of thinking, you know, we're looking at some underdog teams. I think EVOS, you can't overlook this team, and WAG. I feel like these are the two standout teams recently that people are just not respecting enough.
And this is the setup they walk in with. A single bomber, triple rusher, but all 4 of those players know how to play the marksman as well as snipers. So this makes EVOS Divine a very deadly team. But of course, if you give them an option, they would prefer to play those CQC, those close quarters combat, you know, and especially with Gade, if he's got that grenade launcher in hand, he is going to be wrecking his opponents out there on the battlefield. We've seen how this team combination has done them so well, so much, and this is a great game for them, right? A total of 15 eliminations strong, 27 points out of this booyah.
You know, I'm kind of interested to see the final score for these teams because I want to see how many eliminations were spread across these teams. Because Kalahari has been a gold mine for teams that thrive on this map because you're constantly just farming elimination after elimination just because of the number of buybacks that happen on Kalahari. Statistically, today, I wish we had information or data on the number of revives that happened on these maps, because if there's a map I'd love to specialize on right now, it's Kalahari, because you are getting so many bonus eliminations because of the revives.
The MVP lead is still led by Ma'al. Wasana's been having a little bit of troubles finding those MVPs for himself, but what he's not having troubles with is those eliminations, still leading the competition. 166 elims in hand, but in the second spot for the most valuable player title.
Okay, Mal, you can stay there. You can stay there.
And this was from that one day of reckoning from RRQ. That's a solid setup. But let's take a look at the game standings itself. 15 plus 12 for a total of 27 for EVOS Divine. Bigatron Delta outshining their Indonesian brothers with 16 eliminations. From the third spot, they take the second spot away from Twisted Minds, who also get up on 24.
So many eliminations for the top teams too. Twisted Minds, Bigatron, EVOS, just netting so many elimination points. It's almost criminal the amount of points that they managed to pick up today. But speaking of today, our summary for points. Buriram still on top with 102 points, but AG Global just behind by a single point.
Yeah, I mean, they just swooped on in there. Twisted Minds kind of squeezed in as well at the very final second. EVOS Divine was looking for the top 3. They fall slightly short once again because Twisted Minds survived for so long and got decent eliminations as well. Or else it would have been a top 3 finish for EVOS Divine. Either way, I mean, it's not a bad day for EVOS. It's great in the grand scheme of things. They are in that 8th spot, and it's going to take a long time before they get kicked out of the top 12.
Now, speaking of top 12, you know, it's time for God of Wolf to wake up. It's time to wake up because you're on the cusp of elimination. It's their final play day tomorrow.
Yeah.
They've got to pick up those points because they are so much at risk of potentially losing their placement. And God of Wolf, I think overall, let me just take a look at their stats weekly. So they started strong. Week 1, they had 128 points. Week 2, 130 points. Week 3, 111. And then they dropped to 86 last week. And they're starting tomorrow with 41 points. If this team continues on this downwards trajectory, I fear God of Wolf is about to lose their place here in the top 12.
And I don't think GOW will let their own pacing drop so quickly, because you also have to take a look at which are the teams that have got the capability of overtaking them. You're looking at PE Sports, looking at Toda. Toda might have a chance, but PE Sports has been struggling. Even today, we saw them in performance. Toda, it's the flip of a coin. I mean, they've been performing very well in the recent times, but we don't know what's going to give way, you know, for this team. But if they continue on their upward trajectory, then you're most definitely right, Danny. If they don't step it up tomorrow, Toda might just say hello to them in the most nastiest of ways.
I think, this is just a guess, but it's also my intuition. I think Todak is potentially making top 12. I think this team has shown an incredible amount of growth, and they've shown an incredible amount of adaptation to the recent patch as well. So
Yeah.
I feel Todak is coming out of the shadows and they found something, they figured something out and it's working in their favor. I think Todak is making top 12.
Tomorrow?
Not
You are gonna
tomorrow,
be a-
overall. But
Okay.
I don't know about tomorrow.
Tomorrow you are going to be a disappointed woman. Overall, you might be onto something here. There is a huge possibility. But GOW, let us not forget, is a team that's capable of those booyahs, that's capable of those final breaks as well in the grand circle, looking for those booyahs. This team always was able to get close to it, but not get the job done. Perhaps tomorrow will be the day, Danny. But that is it for us from production as well as the casters. Day 14 comes to an end. But tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll catch you there. For now, good night and goodbye.